Hello and welcome to episode 142 of In PS We Trust, a PlayStation podcast. My name's Davey and joined with me, as always, is the fine wine himself, Mr. Philip Hoy.
It doesn't look like I've joined you. I'm having a bunch of audio problems and now I've got video problems. So give me a sec and I'll be with you.
Yeah, well, we don't know if this is actually going to come through to the final thing or not. So it may just be fine. If anything, we just can't see Phil, which might be a blessing for us. Isn't that right, Spence?
We have often said this. Well, we have said it. This is the most handsome podcast on the internet. Phil's a part of that, mate. How dare you? He's the fine fucking wine.
Yeah, I suppose. Oh, we got a ghost. Oh, he's back.
Oh my God, that's a new angle.
He's risen like the phoenix from the ashes. He's risen up. He's in. We got a new angle. We got, by looks of it, we can see the radiator in the background, looking very nice. And is that a walking pad in the background or a bike you got there, Phil?
The wrong camera. This is like the works camera. It's not as good as my other camera. Give me a sec.
It looks great, though. It looks fantastic.
Thanks, man.
Now,
you look really short.
He does look very short, though. He does.
It's really low.
He does look very short.
He looks so small.
Well, you got to love technical difficulties. I tell you what isn't a technical difficulty. Spence, you did very, very well at the big quiz, didn't you, this last time? Some may say that you actually won.
Some or all, brother.
Well done, my dude. Congratulations. Second time back-to-back champion we've ever had. First was me, obviously. I haven't gone on about it very much. And then you've done the same thing. You've achieved the same feat. So this is going to be 20 episodes of your rule. How does that feel, first of all? Secondly, I want to know what your new rule is that you're implementing for quick news.
Sure, mate. So it feels natural.
Okay.
Is what I'd say. You know, this time and last time, the times I've won, we've played video games. Come on, the GOAT for a fucking reason. But yeah, feels good. And the games this time was so funny. Absolute mess it was, but we had a good old laugh, and I feel like I deserved my victories. So I'm happy. The crown, heavy as it is sitting upon the right head.
It's looking very good on you. Gotta say,
thank you.
We didn't see it for all your last 10 episodes, so I'm glad you've actually got it for this rule.
I know, mate. I can't believe it. But yeah, this year I'm going to keep it. It will be on my head as long as it can. It's not the most comfortable crown, especially with a headset.
No.
But I'll try to keep it on as much as I can.
Well, that solid gold and studded emeralds all around it. It's a very expensive piece. It must be quite heavy on you.
Yeah, man. My freaking neck's killing, bro. It sucks walking around with this all day. I've had this on since I won.
Yeah. Why would you got to sleep in that thing, right? That's what I did.
Of course, mate. Of course. Yeah.
So what's your new rule you're bringing to quick news, my dude?
So obviously last time my rule was just you got to deliver some good news. And if your news is bad or you deliver it poorly, people vote for that, you get a shot in the dock. We're not doing that again this time just because, let's be honest, it was a bit lazy. So, you know, it is what it is. So we've got an actual game this time, albeit not much of one still, but a chance for us to learn about each other and the audience to learn more about us too, which they're always asking for. You know, I've seen, they've never asked, but... You know, you'll learn
We've
today.
We've seen the fanfics online. We've seen the bromance posts that go up for you and Phil or whatever it is, right? The different ships that keep getting put out online. We've seen them. I like them.
Yeah, we also see the author, mate, and we always see Matthew Davis.
Yeah, that is a problem. Yeah, I got to find a way to be able... I should write under a pseudonym, really, shouldn't I? You know?
Probably.
I really should. I should think about it. I have to go into ChatGPT later and think of some. Carry on though, pal.
Of course. So this time around for quick news, I thought it'd be fun to just bring in a fun fact about yourself. And I'm a bit 50-50 on whether we want to do it for every bit of quick news. There's only two, obviously, we do. So we could have two fun facts. But at what point... Oh, we get 2 weeks to think about it. Fuck it. 2 fun facts is what you need. And then whoever has the least fun fact or just the least interesting fact about themselves, it has to be about yourself. Something you've done in life, something wrong with you maybe, something right with you. Who knows? We're going to learn. maybe a past experience. And whoever has the worst fact gets a shot in the dock.
As voted for by us or by the audience?
By us. We could maybe check out an audience vote here or there, but it might have some sway. But
Yeah, fuck the audience, I reckon. It's
Yeah.
one of those things. After they stiff me over for 10 episodes on the bounce, I'm quite happy us having it in a game between us and the audience. You can vote on them, but it won't mean shit. And that's the way I like it, right? You can say on there, oh, I hate Davey's facts, blah, 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 but it won't matter. Because unless Spence and Phil turn against me, which is quite highly likely, I'm not going to get the shot. So we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. But I like that rule, though, Maduda. I really, really do. And so we're not going to actually have a question today. I thought I'd save the space for the audience to be able to bask in your glory, my new king, or my coming back, my recurring king. I don't know how best to say it.
So you've called this the coronation, but I was coronated ages ago, bro. I'm just
Yeah.
still the king.
Yeah, it's kind of like, when people go and they renew their wedding vows? That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking, right? It's kind of like a renewal of your kingship is what's been going on.
It's the anniversary of my coronation.
Exactly right. It's like your Ruby or whatever, right? I think Ruby's like 50 or 40 years of marriage. I don't know. But it feels like a lifetime since you've been king. And here we go again.
Yeah, it does.
It does. And with that, we're going to move it on to what we've been playing.
This time on NPS We Trust, what have the boys been playing?
So guys, it's been 2 weeks since the last podcast episode, and I'm desperate to know what you've been up to with your time. Spence, as our king, I'm going to start with yourself. What have you been up to, my dude?
So, I'll start with the one everyone's on the edge of their seat for. Obviously, last episode, we didn't even do what we've been playing. But the episode prior, I talked about how close I was to Gitaru Man. And I thought I'd give you boys a little update on how much closer I've become.
Okay.
Fucking done it, mate.
What do you mean?
Fucking done it. Got the platinum.
Ooh, that's a platinum. Fucking hell. Well done, my dude.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I'll tell you right now, the ending, so much easier than the start and the middle of the game.
Really?
Way easier. Yeah. So the first 8 levels, you have to no miss A rank. Solid. Level 9, you just have to A rank. So you're allowed to miss some.
Okay.
And when you're at that point, the songs are so long that you can miss a few and it's easy to get A rank.
Oh, wow.
Really easy. And then the last level, you just have to beat it. That's it. And then the Master Puppet levels are the same as the normal levels. It's just when you mess up, you take more life damage.
Oh, is that all?
And I'd already no-missed all them. So it was fine.
Oh, wow.
And you only got to beat one level, so I just did level 1 and then fast uninstall.
Jesus Christ. Well done, my dude. That's a big dick platinum in my eyes. That's one I will never do. I will never get. Do you reckon you'd be up for doing it all over again around mine next time you stay over? Because I'm quite itching to play a bit of Saros again. All I'm saying is that there may be the time where you accidentally play Gitaru Man on my profile and unlock all the trophies, and it might just so happen that I do the same for you on Saros. It'd be a complete accident, of course. But is this something that, if that was to happen, would that be a damn shame for you?
I miss Gitaru Man. I've been listening to the soundtrack in my car.
Have you really?
Yeah, mate, it's all on Spotify. And there's one song, the legendary theme, which is such a lovely song. And I just keep listening to it. It's really nice. And I love that game, mate. I thought about reinstalling it. I might I'll do it for you happily.
You good man. You absolute saint.
I mean, I'll play it again and
accidentally
misclick maybe. I might, who knows, stuff happens, technical difficulties all the time. Isn't that right, Phil?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Phil's gone. Phil's gone again.
It's gone again.
I think this is going to be a recurring thing for Phil to be in and out. So again, huge congratulations, Spence. I mean, what number platinum does that take you to for Gitaru Man? Any idea?
Ooh, good question. We can find out quite easily. That takes me to...
And while you're looking there, how many hours do you reckon it took you to get that play?
I know that off the dome, mate. It took 9.
9. See, that
9.
You'd multiply that by a factor of 10 for me, I reckon. If I was to go for it, I reckon that's like a 90-hour slog. for me. Like,
It's insane when you think each level's like 3 minutes and it's 10 levels.
yeah, but I ain't getting through them, bro. So it would just be like each one's about 500 attempts until I get it, and then getting A ranks, and then getting no misses.
Yeah, but imagine the pop off.
Yes, that's very true. The pop off is very appealing, but I don't think I'm that much for glutton for punishment, my dude. I just don't think I am. But go on. What number platy is this?
This is gonna suck. It's platinum number 67.
The kids popping off in the street, in the back of the car while their parents are driving down. 67, 67.
Fuck's sake.
Have you got any interest in playing Guitaroo Man now, Phil? After seeing that it is possible to actually achieve this platinum trophy?
Well, I didn't know. I've only just joined you boys. I've been off and on for the start of this podcast. I've not known what's going on. First, I've got audio problems. Couldn't hear a damn thing you were saying. And then my camera started to switch off. So unfortunately, I'm cursed this episode. So you might have me for the rest of the episode. You might not. I might just drop out again. I don't know. Who knows?
I reckon you're in the lab for Tokon, bro. You're in there with that Penny Parker.
He's grinding.
But we'll come back to that.
I wish.
We'll come back to that
wish.
very shortly. Well, yeah, in case you missed it, Phil, Spence has done the impossible. He's got the Guitaroo Man Platinum Trophy. He's done it 9 hours in length, and he's just proven that he is the true king. So well done. Well done, my mate.
Well, congratulations, Spence.
Cheers,
I know that
boys.
was a hard platinum for Davey. Not so hard for you. So, yeah.
It was hard. It was still hard, I gotta say. It's a tough old game, but it's a lot of fun. So I don't regret a second of it, and I want to go back. I wish it was more levels.
But there's the ones that achieve, and then there's the ones that don't, isn't there?
So
You're
true,
an
mate. achiever.
And that's why you've got the crown on your head, Spence. And congratulations for winning the big quiz, because I think you covered that at the start of the show as well.
Yes, we did, yeah.
Who knows? Who knows? You could have said anything at the start of the show.
Yeah, could have done. Should have.
True.
Should have really, shouldn't we? But didn't really
You
think
could have got
that
away
far
with
ahead.
so much.
Yeah, could have done it all. But moving on from Guitaroo Man, Spence, you and me have been playing Halo Combat Evolved, the remake. I want to know your thoughts
we
on it,
have.
dude, because this is your first time playing Halo 1, right? I know it's the
Yeah.
remake, so it's slightly different, but give me your thoughts on it. I want to know kind of everything.
I think it's all right.
All right.
Yeah, I think it's all right. Yeah.
What the fuck?
It's just you walk in a room, shoot a lot of enemies, walk in the next room, shoot a lot of enemies. It's the same thing. It's not the only time I had fun. It was fun throughout, but that's just because it's a co-op experience. And the game is good. It's a good game. It's just aged. Very clearly aged. Back when game design was just a bunch of enemies, shoot them. But the best moments were when we just fucked about. And we tried taking like a warthog through the entire level with us and hopping in the banshees and stuff, flying about. It's the best moment. And that's not playing the game, that's just fucking about with the game, which is the same reason I love RE6. You know, I say love, hate,
Yeah.
but it's fun. It's fun fucking about with co-op. So I had a great time, and I'd happily do it again, and we're going to do it again because we've got a lot more to do with that game. But yes, it's all right, mate. It's better games. Like, there's loads of better games. But I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it, and I'm excited to play it again. But yeah, it's good.
I hear what you're saying. I mean, it's a classic game. It's a classic campaign. And you are right. Like, age has not done it the best service ever, right? It does show. It is one of those things of you walk into a room, you do have to just slay everything and you move on to the next thing. That's what games were back then. And they were fun, right? This came out in like 2001, right, originally. And they've done essentially a pretty faithful job of remastering it. They've made some changes. There's a sprint mode in there. There's new weapons that haven't been in there. There's brand new levels that have been cooked up for this campaign, which tell like a bit of a prequel story. They've added some extra little bells and whistles on there. And of course, you've got 4-player co-op, which you can do online or whatever. Graphically, this game is fucking beautiful.
It's beautiful, yeah.
It
It's
is
beautiful.
absolutely stunning. And for somebody who's played the original through quite a number of times back in my youth and haven't played it for, probably 20 years at this point, it was getting a nice healthy dose of nostalgia, right? And I loved every single moment of that. The campaign lasts, what would you say, about 6-ish hours, around about there. I was going to do 6, 7 because I know how much you love
I
that.
thought you were.
But I thought I'd hesitate and move away from that. I'd say what, 6 to 8 hours in length for the campaign?
Good save. But yeah, probably. I mean, every campaign back then was 8 hours, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, probably about. It might have been like 5.
I don't know. It was 2 separate play sessions we did, and each one was quite long. But I don't know. We played it through first on heroic difficulty, which we
also did the extra levels though.
We did. That is very true. Maybe take it down to about 6 hours then, probably. Yeah, we did it on heroic difficulty for the first run. Absolutely caned through it. No real challenge. And then we've since hied up to legendary, and we're about a third of the way through. And Jesus Christ, what a step up! I remember it being a lot tougher, and it certainly is that. Like there are moments where it is tough. Like there was that one moment we had on the last level we played, because we just got to silent cartographer now on our legendary run, and it was the one where we were just in that hangar, and there was just like infinite number of fucking enemies there, what seemed to be, and we just died over and over and over, and I think we were like an hour just on that hangar trying to get through, and eventually did it. Right, it was just a nightmare fuel. And that I'm really enjoying that kind of increased challenge that comes with Legendary and a different way to kind of play it, a little bit more careful, a little bit more reserved. How are you finding that change from Heroic up to Legendary now?
I'm preferring this. I did enjoy Heroic, a lot of fun, but it was just brainless, mindless, brain off, Laufey, mate. This is like a challenge, and I'm enjoying this a lot more. I love when there's a bit of challenge in my games, and maybe that'll lead on to another game I'm talking about in a bit. But yeah, Legendary is, I'm glad we didn't play it first, because it'd have been a tough start, but I'm enjoying it a lot, and I'm excited to keep playing it, because I feel like this is how it should be played.
It definitely feels like one of those things of people still put it as like a kind of badge of honor, or that you was used to back in the youth, of like, I beat Legendary, blah, 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 blah. Now there's a lot more things you can do. There's skull modifiers. So there's a run that we're going to have to do eventually after we find all the skulls, which is called like lasso mode or something. And with that, it's Legendary, but with like 13 of these skulls, which make it even tougher. So that'll be fun. And that would be a good challenge. So we got multiple playthroughs to go before we get anywhere close to a platinum on this. There are issues with this. Huge issues. And I know this is something that I think I bitched about it more than you did, Spence. The frame rate fucking dies on this game. Like, dies so bad. As soon as you get a number of enemies on screen, it drops to, I swear, it's like fucking in the 10s. It's so bad. And it is so distracting because the game is so beautiful that as soon as you start getting frame rate issues and you start getting just enemies that look like they're from like a PS2, that like where the rendering's not fully there because it's just struggling, it stands out like a sore thumb, and it's everywhere. Now, I don't know how it would be on like a PS5 Pro. I imagine it would probably be a lot better. But on the base PS5, it certainly seems like it struggles to be able to run. And I guess it's kind of that UE5 engine that they got knocking about in this that maybe is struggling a bit here. But I found that horrifically distracting. And it was something that I was like, because it's such a juxtaposition from how the rest of the game is with how beautiful it is, it just stood out so much, and it really bothered me. And it bothered me especially when we were stuck on that hangar bit, because we were there for so long with constant frame rate issues for like an hour, and it just fucking really soured me on it. So it's one of those things that I was like, maybe it's one of those things that you just leave, cook in the oven and wait for patches to kind of hopefully try and resolve some of this thing. But did that kind of sour your experience too?
On Legendary, it's definitely worse than it was. There's more enemies on Legendary as well, as they're tougher. So on Heroic, it was fine. There was still frame drop issues, but it was mostly, in like games where anything in the background or anything far away will be at a lower FPS. And you can kind of expect that because it's just to save resources for the game to run well. It happens a lot. But now on Legendary, especially like you said in that hangar where there's such an abundance of enemies to kill, it's struggling. And even the ones right in your face are running at 20 FPS, if that, and the game slows down and chugs. It's tough, and it's not what you expect for the PS5. I'm not used to frame drops anymore. I've not had that really, other than a few times. I've had a few frame drops here and there, but not like this. This is like I'm playing a I'm trying to play a new game on a PC I've had for 12 years. That's what this is like, which I wouldn't do. So it's a shame. But I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, but it is bothersome.
Yeah, it really is. Phil, have you got any interest in picking up Halo at all?
My history with Halo is pretty spotty, really, because I've only ever really played it around friends' houses in the past. And then I think I owned an Xbox One at some stage, and I had the Master Chief Collection, if I remember rightly. And I played a little bit of that and dabbled in it from time to time, but I never spent any considerable time in Halo, unfortunately. But I know you guys, you've now got it on the PlayStation, haven't you? Which must feel very foreign indeed to have an Xbox staple on a PlayStation. And I don't know if you bought it physical, but does it feel weird? Is it physical that you've got?
I didn't. I bought it digital so that
bought it
Spence could game share with me, because I thought there's no way he's
Okay.
going to buy it. So I
Yeah.
thought, well, at least I can kind of like shoehorn him into playing it with me, because me and Cass are playing it through on easy at the moment. We're on like Silent Cartographer, I think, now at this point, so only a few levels in. But I thought, I can say to Spence, well, don't worry, just boot it up and play it through, right? Like, I've paid for it, it's fine. And so that was the reason for digital. But I would have loved physical for this, to have that box with Master Chief on and a PS5 logo on there. Would have been just surreal, you know?
Well, that's what I was going to say. For all the people that are going out and purchasing this as a physical release, it must seem so strange. A little bit of a triumph, really, I would say, to have Master Chief on a PlayStation game, and that PlayStation game be Halo. It just
Weird.
feels so strange. It's a strange time for video gaming. It really, really is. But no, I haven't purchased it. I haven't got access to the digital either. And I don't think, considering the game we're going to be talking about in a second, I'm going to have much time to be able to play said game.
Yes, that is very true. It is one of those things now, it's gone quite far down on the back burner, but it will be there whenever we want it, right? That's the way I'm thinking about it. When we're looking for a co-op experience, or we're looking to dive in, we won't need to remember anything. We've played the story through already. We kind of know what happens. It's not really going to be one of those games that we have to really put too much mental into until we get our hands back on the sticks, and then it's fucking go. But we'll get there when we get there, I'm sure. Sticking on with Spence, you've got a maybe more on the list. What does maybe more mean? I'm intrigued by this.
Is this a game we don't know?
It's 2 games,
Okay.
and 2 that I wanted to mention without you knowing beforehand. So I hope you haven't looked at my profile lately.
No, haven't.
But I
No.
assume you haven't, because you didn't know about Guitar Man. So, we'll go with it. There's one I'll talk about very, very briefly, because I'm not very far. But it's a game I should have played years ago, and I never did. So I've started it. Sekiro. I have finally started it. Playing my first samurai game in however long, because I've fucking hate it. But I'm enjoying this. And it's a lot of fun, and it's really, really hard. Sekiro. Really bloody hard, even for me. With Dark Souls, especially DS1, I play parry builds. I always play parry builds, and that's all this game is, and it's tough.
Mm-hmm.
But you'll know where I am, Davey. I've just unlocked the counter where when they thrust, you stamp on the
Press forward circle,
Play.
yeah? Forward
so
circle.
I'm not. It's just circle, I think. But it's
You got to step into it.
maybe.
You do.
But I've done it a few times. It helps a lot. Makes it a lot easier with those thrust buggers. But I'm enjoying it a lot. It's a lot of fun. I haven't made that much progress, so I can't talk about it that much.
Okay, fair enough. Is this the copy I lent you? Like forever
Yeah.
ago? Yeah.
Yeah.
How
forever
many of
ago.
my games have you got? I was trying to think about this. I know you've got freaking
Chronos.
Yeah, you got that. You got the. Have I lent you anything else? Is there any other games in your collection that are mine? Because I've
I'd have to have a
James
look.
Bond.
yeah, you got James Bond. I know Dayman's
Yeah.
got a couple of my games. Like I'm like the fucking modern day blockbuster, bro. So just like them, I'm
You are
losing
it.
money on all this. You know?
That's jokes. You're getting back.
Yeah, eventually.
Eventually.
I forgot you
We'll
even
see,
had
actually,
Sekiro. It was only the other day where I was looking for like Resident Evil 7, and I was like, Willard, have you still got my copy of this? And he's like, yeah, somewhere. And he's like, I can't find it. I'll buy you a new one. So I got a new, I got a new RE7, like still wrapped there
That's sick.
because I was like, yeah, I just fucking lended them out all over the place.
You've probably got the biggest collection of video games, haven't you? Because it's very often, right? I go through my collection. I go through and we talk about all the games of the past that I own. But probably you've got the biggest collection, but they're not actually in your possession.
They're everywhere. Yeah, they're all over
They're
the
just
place.
everywhere else, right?
Yeah. Maybe I'm part of the reason why they're getting rid of physical, bro. They're like, this Davey guy is just lending his games to fucking everyone.
Everyone. Yeah.
Everyone in South Wales.
Yeah, they've all
His
got
barber's
access.
got his games.
Wonder if he's got any, actually. I don't know. I had one of his for a while. I think I'd given
Yeah,
that back.
you had a Wukong.
I had
or something,
Wukong
wasn't
for
it?
a while, yeah. Didn't get time to start it. And he was asking about it. And I was like, I'll give it back to you. And the cheeky fucker.
And then
right-
you went to a different barber's.
No. I gave it back to him and he just gave me the disc, right? Not to throw us completely off topic, but I went back there and gave him the disc back and he's like, what about the case, dude? And I was like, you didn't give me a case. And he's like, why didn't I have a case? I was like, I asked you that question. And he was like, oh, all right, no worries. I'm like, I promise you, I
fair
don't
enough.
have your fucking case. Like, I know how this goes. Somebody destroys one of my cases, you come back with a baseball bat, right? Like, I don't want you to just shave my head off or something like that. I'm in a very vulnerable
Yeah.
position, you know?
Whoops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all gonna come off now. Oh, but carry on, mate. Sorry to derail you. What was your other game? So Sekiro and then something else.
Sure. So my other game I've actually finished. And it's a game we've talked about playing for a long time and neither of us ever did, which is The Casting of Frank Stone.
Oh, yeah, okay. How was it?
It's all right.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It's good. The story's good. Kind of. It's yeah. There's very cute nods in there towards Dead by Daylight.
Right.
Like, so one of the collectibles is little dolls of each killer,
Oh, cool.
which is really cute. And you pick them up, and some of them have strings on the back. So you pull the string, and then they'll be like, and their eyes will glow and stuff. And it's a bit freaky, really, but it's quite cool. I'm gonna play it more because I didn't do very well. A lot of people died,
Right.
but it's very much just Until Dawn, but shorter, DBD themed. And quite fun. It's all right. Yeah. I mean, I enjoyed my time with it. It doesn't hold you for too long. It's maybe like 5-6
Oh,
hours.
decent.
I can't remember a single character's name.
Okay.
Not one. It was like maybe a week ago I played this, and it's forgettable, mate. It's a forgettable game,
Yeah.
but it's fun to play. It is, and the story's weird. It's bizarre.
I was gonna
I'd recommend it.
I was gonna ask you about this. Do you learn anything about the entity or anything like that? Because I know there's a lot of lore in Dead by Daylight. Like if you were to actually go and read like the tablets and all the things in there for doing like the different season pass kind of content stuff, there's so many written documents. I've never read any of them. Do you actually learn anything about the entity and why this all happens? Because I literally don't have a clue.
You do.
Ooh.
And the ending, the very end, like the last scene of the game, is very cool. It ties into Dead by Daylight like really well, and it's very cool, and it does work. I would very much. You should play it. You'll enjoy it. But yeah, I beat it. There's a lot left to do for the platinum. You've got to kind of do a playthrough where everyone dies, a playthrough where no one dies, get all the collectibles, stuff like that.
Right.
And there's some specific things you need to do as well. Where like in a certain area, make sure this happens and stuff. So I'll do all that. It's just going to be an easy platinum. It just takes time, but I'd recommend it. I'd recommend it for both of you. It's an easy play. It's not long and it's fun. It's a decent story. Obviously, it's better if you like Dead by Daylight, but it doesn't tie in that hard. It explains a lot without needing Dead by Daylight for the story to be decent.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
I get you. And so would you say it's one of those ones that I should play when me and Karen are looking there to play something through together? Right? Like, because I know with a lot of these games that are done, Supermassive did this, didn't they? And it's one of those games where in the previous Supermassive games I played, you can play in like a kind of co-op mode where then you can go and like, you can pick your choices kind of independently, and whichever one kind of gets the most kind of goes through and gets like more weighting towards it. Is it one of those games that I could sit down and play with Karen and we'd have a good time, like one person watching it, one person controlling it, swapping it back and forth, that kind of thing?
I would say so. Obviously, I don't know about the co-op features really because I played it on my own, but it's definitely not a game Annabelle would play. She
She hates horror, doesn't she?
She hates horror and gore. Yeah, she can't stand it, which is what it is. But she would not. Some of the scenes are quite mank, but it's actually quite disgusting. This game, it's good. It's good.
You're selling it.
But yeah, I think you guys would very much enjoy it, and it is concise. So you'd have a great time. I'd recommend it. I recommend to everyone, listeners, play it as well. It's really good. I did have a good time, which I did kind of start with a downer on it. The more I'm thinking about it, because I'd forgotten everything about it. Now I'm retracing my steps and remembering. I enjoyed it quite a lot. It is good. It's good. I'd recommend it.
What, turn around in one conversation, Phil?
I know, yeah. Convinced myself.
Spence, I want to ask you, is this another game you've lent from Davey or someone else, or is this part of the PS Plus offering?
I think we got it on PS Plus ages ago. It got added to the game catalogue. It's not an essential game, I don't think. But it's on the game catalogue. So
it's freely available now, or was it something that we had to previously download? Do you know?
No, it's available now. It's still on the game catalogue, so you're able to download it now for free, obviously, if you have extra or premium. But just do it. It's not long, doesn't take much of your time. A lot of fun. It's really good.
Fair play. And to be honest, I've dipped in, dipped out of Dead by Daylight with you guys. I don't really know a lot about this series. Would you say the casting of Frank Carter, am I correct?
Frank Stone.
Frank Stone, sorry, not Frank Carter. That's a band, isn't it? Is this where you would start if you wanted to get into Dead by Daylight? Is this a good kicking off point?
Yeah. I don't want to say too much because it gives it away, or gives away I say a twist. It's not really a twist, but I think it's probably better to know about Dead by Daylight before knowing about Frank Stone than the other way around, but it doesn't ultimately matter. And the stuff you see in Frank Stone, you might pick up on when you play Dead by Daylight, but it's definitely easier to pick up on if you play them the other way around, like I have. So, also, the game surprised me. Frank Stone's I'm not going to spoil it. But it's it's weird, man. It's a weird game, but yeah, play it. Davey, you should really play it. You should play it soon. It's not long.
Okay. Well, moving on from... Actually, give me a rating on... You've covered a few games here today. Give me a rating, obviously not on Sekiro, you're very early on. But give me a rating on Halo, and give me a rating on Frank Stone. Because you've already given Gitaru, man. I think you've given it a 9, unless that's risen. I mean, go for it, bro. If you're giving 10 to Gitaru, man, that's... I mean, tell me how it is, bro.
Maybe you need to have that level of obsession with that game to be able to platinum it.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Maybe it does become a 10 because you've just grinded so hard and it's just in your mind now.
Yeah, that's why he's in Spotify now. Just fucking listen to the soundtrack, because it's like when people abducted against their will or whatever and they fall in love with their Stockholm syndrome. That's what you got, bro. That's what you got for Gitaru, man.
Whose YouTube was it? I think actually we're at your house and it just came up on YouTube, wasn't it? Trying to watch guides of Gitaru, man.
Mate, I tried everything.
It was in your search history.
Dude, I tried it all.
How to beat.
Unless, of course, it was Spencer watching it when we stayed over previously and he's just watching it all night.
Maybe, yeah. He's fallen asleep to the music, It's really got him.
Would not surprise us.
So go on, bro.
All right, I'll do Gitaru Man last.
All right. Build up to it, right.
Halo, if I was playing it single player, I'll tell you now, it'd be a 4.
4?
But, yeah, it'd be a 4. Honestly, single player, yeah. There's nothing in it, mate. You're just shooting stuff, that's it. And I know games used to be like that, but there's objectives now. Now games actually have stuff in it. So, today, Halo 1 is a 4.
Spencer hates old games.
Fucking hell.
But for co-op, the co-op experience we had, which elevates it a lot, actually. I was going to go 7, but I'm not. I'm going to go 6 just because of the technical difficulties as well with the frame rate. I was going to go 7, but I'm bumping it down just because of the frame rate issues.
Jesus.
So if that gets fixed, it's a 7, but at the minute it's a 6.
Okay. All right.
He's fuming. Casting Frank Stone, that sits around a 6 or a 7 as well. And don't do it.
3 times in one episode, in one
It's
section.
a lot. We're only at the start of the show. Fuck me.
And I've heard it twice, and I've already been here for 10 minutes.
Yeah. I'm going to give Frank Stone a 7, but that's heavily carried by it being tied into Dead by Daylight. And I love Dead by Daylight, the world of Dead by Daylight. So that's why. If I had never played DBD, it'd be a 6. Mostly because they are... I didn't really talk about it, but there are parts of the game where it looks bad, and it's like it'll transition during a scene where they're talking to a different like shot of them talking, and it's like clearly about to change the gameplay, and the quality just drops a lot. But even it does it when it doesn't change the gameplay. It's just you'll show an angle where it's clearly like it's lighted beautifully, they look great, and then it'll change to another one, the lighting's off, and you can tell they look bad. So I'll give it a 7 still, just because Dead by Daylight. But it's pick your poison. I think it's all right, fine. It's better than Halo.
Mental.
It's crazy.
Mental.
And then Guitar Man's a 10.
10. Fucking course it is. Of course it is.
Guitar Man's a 10, but I'm craving it. I want to go back. I wish there was more levels. If there was like 50 levels, I'd be grinding them. I'd be having so much fun.
You are these guys, right, that like played it on PS2, and then as soon as this came out, they had the platinum immediately because they'd never stopped playing it. You know, like their skills are still razor sharp. But hey, I was enjoying my time with it. I'm just not good enough. So who am I to judge? 10's pretty fucking high, mind. But, you know,
it's good.
Seeing as this is probably the 5th game we've ever given a 10 on this podcast.
Is that the first for this year?
Ooh,
could be.
Yeah,
great question.
I think it probably is, actually. No. I gave a 10, and I stand by it, to, I give him one out.
It's not a 10.
I give him one out, a 10 this year. And I can't fucking remember what it was now. I know I've given one. It's
it was
like
that good.
If he has to stay and I stand by it, it's not a 10.
Yeah.
No, it is. It's that short. It's that short game we played.
It's mixtape.
Mixtape. I was going to say Split Fiction then, because I was playing that with Cass this year as well. And that's certainly not a 10. Yeah, Mixtape. I
gave Mixtape a 10 as well.
That's a 10. That's fantastic. But that's caveated by what it is, right? Like that's the caveat with that 10. But it still is 10. It's perfect in what it is.
That seems Guitar Man's a 10 for what it is.
The game of the year conversation is going to be very difficult, boys.
Guitar Man does not count.
Guitar Man's not in there.
It's not in the list.
And that's because if it was, it'd win.
Fucking hell. Well, moving on from that, before we get to yourself, Mr. Hoy, I got a couple of little updates on things. Well, one big update and one smaller one. So I'll give you a smaller one first to wet your whistle. So Stellar Blade. So I think I'm quite far in now at this point, and Phil, you'll be my soundboard for this. So I am at the Great Desert is where I am at the moment. I've just beaten a central character who appears right early in the game. Just beaten the boss fight there, which was fantastic. The first time I died, really challenged me quite a bit. Nailed her ass the second time, but I've loved it. I've really gotten into it.
Is that to get access to somewhere? If I'm right, she's like guarding like an area where you've got to get into something.
Yeah.
The specifics elude me because it was quite a while back that I played it, but I remember that character being solid, but I am much further than that in the game.
Yeah. So she was guarding a place that then opens up into being the Great Desert, right? So I can go and explore the Great Desert.
Yeah.
And so I've been really enjoying it. I've been doing all the side content as much as I said I wouldn't, and it's a load of bollocks filler stuff. Generally, it's not that bad. The photo challenges are a bit of a pain in the ass, but I've just been following a guide to figure out where those are and go take those pictures and get them over with. But the rest of the stuff kind of can be done on your way to the main objective, so I'm not minding it that much. And I've been doing everything really. I am enjoying it. I really am. I don't think I'm going to be on the same level as a lot of the internet is, where they're like, this is the second coming of Christ. I don't think it's that good, but I am enjoying my time with it so far. I think right now, I got to be 15 to 20 hours deep. I feel like I am. I haven't checked, but I give it a solid 7.5 out of 10, I reckon, at this point. Solid 7.5, I think sounds about right to where I am at the moment. The story isn't really grabbing me. I'm not really too invested in any of the characters or anything at this point, but I like the spectacle. I like the presentation. I love the music, and that's really carrying through. And the combat's really fun. So this is one of those things that I'm going to keep on ticking away just whenever I get a spare couple of moments, and just work my way through. And I'll have it done within the next couple of months, I'm sure, because the game that is taking all my time we'll be talking about very, very shortly. But you're saying that you're much further on from the Great Desert then, Phil, so we've got a lot more road to cover, do I?
I would say so, yeah. Yeah, the game twists and turns quite a lot after that, if I remember
Ooh.
rightly. But one question I did want to ask you, have you come across any interesting lifts? Because it's a mark of a good game.
There has been quite a number of sideways lifts, and there's also been lifts where it does the classic lift thing, where you're on the lift and you're like, I swear there's going to be enemies dropping down, and enemies drop down.
That's a really good bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because they're almost zombie-like.
Yes. Yeah. So
Right. Yes. That part is stellar.
that part's really cool, and especially
Excuse the pun.
you can't use your sword, so you're limited to guns, so it completely changes kind of how the gameplay works, and that's really, really fun. I've really enjoyed that kind of stuff. I was just thinking, God, I can't wait till I just get my sword back so I can work on my combos, but I am really enjoying it. I got one problem, and it's not really a problem with the game, but it's just something I wish I could do, which doesn't make an awful lot of sense me saying that, but I wish I could. You know, like in God of War, right? When you combo in, if you're in the middle of a combo string, and you want to parry or something, you can just parry. You can just cancel that with the parry animation. With this one, you kind of get locked into your combo. So you got to change your mind a little bit. You got to change kind of how you approach it. And this is what I've learned to accept. Is that I'll go for like my damage in level 5 combo because I've built everything to be around my combos with all my stuff. And then it just makes you really reassess because you're like, I can't get away with this combo on this thing because it will just smash me out of it, right? So I've had to just change my mindset. But for a while, I thought that was a bit of a negative. But I've kind of come full circle on that and thought, no, I need to learn some of the smaller combos so I can hit and get out and focus more on parries or whatever it is, right? So I am having a lot of fun with it. I really am. I'm hoping the story does, like you're saying, with twists and turns. I hope it does kind of grab me because I think that would be the thing that elevates it. But I think for what it's got at the moment, I'm on board with and I'm enjoying. And I'm looking forward to fishing because I'm seeing a lot of fish. I see on the trophy list there's fishing.
There is some fishing.
I haven't seen how I fish yet.
Not that entertaining.
No, oh
Let's be
no,
honest.
oh,
No, it's just fishing. No.
oh. I was hoping it might be like, you know, when you're on Zelda and you go fishing Zelda and it's class. I thought it might be like that, but oh well. I'll temper my expectations. Secondly, and this is a big update, Psyops, the game of a fucking generation on the PS2, came into the classic catalog a few weeks back, a month ago now at this point. I have played it. The campaign is about 4 hours long. That's all it is. Very, very quick campaign. It ends in a way that I did not remember how it ends. It ends on a fucking cliffhanger, and they've never made a number 2. It's so sad. It's so sad.
I love that.
The game is so well done. Like, it is everything I thought it was. You know, like when you play a game, an old game, like we've experienced with Halo, you play it, you're like, oh, a lot of this doesn't kind of hold up or whatever it is, right? Psyops does. It's fucking brilliant. Like, the actual level design, I suppose, is pretty straightforward. But in terms of the power set, so you're this guy who's got abilities. So you got telekinesis, you can throw stuff around. You can mind jack people, so you can like just go and look through their vision and see what they're doing. You can mind control them. You can
Mind jack. I love that.
Yeah, I think that's
jack into their mind.
Jacking in, baby. I think that's something from Siren. Is mind jacking? Could be wrong. But yeah, so you got all these different abilities. You got the ability to like pyrokinesis, you can like throw fire and shit like that. You got all these different things. And what's cool is the level design in certain parts will make you use them in ways that you wouldn't really think of. So there might be an obstacle you need to get over. And so what you do is you go stand on a crate and then you levitate that up with the crate with your powers. And then you can use that to jump over. So there's like light puzzle elements through it. And they're really, really fun. And the cool thing is when you complete the game, you get access to a challenge mode. And the devs have then designed a load of challenges, which you've got very specific criteria to be able to do. So you might have to get over a wall, right, by telekinesis in a boulder. And so you're invulnerable, but you've got to make sure the boulder hits you at the right angle to send you over the wall, and that completes the challenge. Or like you've got an obstacle course that you're surfing, so you're using your telekinesis to surf on a crate, and you've got to then lower or higher that, like with the trigger, because it's PS2 famously had like the pressure sensitive bumpers for the first time, and so that you use that to like change your height for your levitation and use that to get around this obstacle course. They're really, really fun. I've enjoyed everything the game has. It's got a fucking boss rush. It's got everything on there. You got to do it all for the platinum. Platinum is fucking bugged, right? it was bugged, and it was bugged for weeks for me. So I gotta let you know what fixed it for me, because I was one of the first people that were in the race for the platinum on this. Like, nobody had it. It was sitting on a 0.0 or a 0.1. It was really, really low. Like, nobody seemed to have it. And I was on the PlayStation trophy boards, and I wasn't posting, but I was just looking to see if anybody else encountered problems, and everyone was saying that trophies were bugged, and they were bugged for different people in different places. The thing that fixed it, some fucking genius on there realized that if you go on to the PlayStation Classics, you press like the options button, so you know your button at the top right of the controller, press that, you can go on to emulator settings and change it from NTSC to PAL. Doing that and then changing it back fixed everything. And I was able just to go in and get my platinum trophy. So I have earned the platinum. Ooh, that's a platinum. I highly recommend this game. I know I've been on about it for forever, right? Like, I remember doing like some Safe Possible crazies back in the day and being like, bring back PsyOps, right? It's here. It plays just as well as it always did. Thoroughly recommend it. Short, sharp, sweet. Fucking fantastic game. Any of you guys got any interest in going to check out this little fucking gem?
Spence, you go first. I know you're about to explode with excitement over there.
Yeah, all right. To be fair, yeah. I actually, especially you saying it's only 4 hours, and I know this, obviously there'll be more for the plat, but I'm enjoying my little classic games at the minute. Obviously I'm done with Guitar Man. So, and I think I've already installed it.
Ooh.
So I very much might be playing it. The issue is maybe not anymore.
Yes.
And that's the kicker, really. So a few weeks ago, I might have played it, but I didn't. Now there's no chance. I'm just not playing it now. Maybe if I need a night off.
I tell you what, mate. I tell you what. It is definitely, and I'm looking for the fucking jingle for it. I'm looking for it so hard. I'm looking for it. Where is it? I cannot see it. So I'm gonna have to a cappella this bitch. It's one for the portal. Just play on the portal, dude. When you're around Annabelle's or whatever, this is the game. You don't want to be labbing on the game that we're going to be talking about very shortly. You can be playing this little dutty.
Have you heard the news about what they've been able to achieve on the Steam Deck now?
No.
Yeah, you can basically use your Steam Deck as a portal now.
Ooh. Well,
could you not do that before anyway with just PS Remote Play app?
No, but like it's like a third-party thing.
Oh,
as opposed
yeah.
to an official PlayStation thing.
Oh,
very cool.
I know.
Shame none of
I'm
us
sure
have
it'll come up
Steam
in a
Decks.
future news. Not this episode, because I've read the doc. Probably in a future episode, because they're trying their best now with the whole preservation of video games and having it more available on PC. Really interesting topic, but don't want to derail this one too much.
Fair enough. Well, back to it then. PsyOps, mate. Phil, come on, man. I don't know if did you ever play it back in the day?
Well, that's what I was just about to say, actually. It's one of those games that I've got no affinity to because I never owned it. I never played it. And I don't really remember it. I'll have to be honest. It doesn't really stick out in my mind. I know you love it and you talk it up quite a lot throughout the last 10 odd episodes that we've had it available now. Definitely exaggerating. It hasn't been out that long, but you have spoke about it for a very, very long time. But unfortunately, it's just one of the games that unfortunately I don't remember because there was so many of those types of games on the PS2. So it just falls into mediocrity, I think, for me. And it doesn't stick out in my mind. So I'd have to play it, I think, to get really excited about it. So maybe when we're next over yours and we need a bit of a break from the game we'll talk about in a minute, and we keep alluding to it, keep foreshadowing that we're going to talk about something in a minute and it's going to be worth the wait. And it's not marathon, guys. So keep your pants on. Maybe that's the time I'll have a little bit of a play with it. The like puzzle elements that you talked about, that sounds quite interesting. I can imagine that being quite an interesting element to the game. But mind jacking with a machine gun, that also sounds quite cool. Like the concepts are cool, right?
It's awesome.
But I don't know. If I had played it back in the day, I would have definitely played it by now.
It's the problem is not many people did, right? It reviewed really, really well. I think when I looked it up, it was like an 84. It scored on Metacritic. Like it scored really well with critics. Everyone couldn't believe like it had the full like physics-based engine that was all the rage back in the day. I can't remember what it was called now. It's plastered all over the game when you boot it up. But it's got like is so good. Like, it's so good, but just nobody bought it for whatever reason. And it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame.
Was it called like Real X?
No, something else. I'm sure if you just Google the game, it would be on there, right? Like on the wiki page for it or whatever. But no, it was something that was a big deal back in the day for games that had physics in there.
They were always plastered with stickers, weren't they?
Yes.
Back in the day, when they would have something extra to the game, like this special thing they're doing. So maybe just look up the cover, you'll see it.
Yeah, you'll find it when you look it up. But
Havoc 2.
Havoc, Havoc, bro.
There we go. Sounds about right.
Fucking brilliant. 9 out of 10. Psyops, tell you now, 9 out of 10. Classic 9 out of 10.
Where's Tinkertory Man then?
In your opinion, yes. But until you play Psyops, and then you'll soon be thinking to yourself, Jesus Christ, what a game. What a damn shame we haven't seen more of Nick Scryer. But never mind.
Nick Scryer. Wow.
Yeah. Good old Midway, mate. Good old Midway.
Doesn't even ring any bells, I have to be honest.
No, not one.
Scryer.
Nobody played it really. This is the problem. Nobody played it.
So it's my fault we didn't get a sequel.
You are partly to blame, yes.
Yeah. Solely to blame if you want.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah. Spence, you had a PS2 as well. You never played it as well, so you're also the problem. So much like the Vita. The Vita died because people didn't buy it. So did Psyops.
I did buy it.
Yes.
And I've got a fact for later in the quick news about my Vita, which I find I don't know if you guys know, so I'll bring that up a bit later.
Double foreshadowing.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of
Jesus. Look at this.
Well, let's unveil the shadows on one game because we've spoke about it quite a lot. We'll dance around it.
Whoa. You guys have talked about a bunch of games. I've got to fill in some gaps, haven't I?
Okay.
The listeners and viewers haven't heard me speak for like 40 minutes.
Go for it, pal.
So, listeners and viewers, well, I'm glad you asked, actually, Davey, because I've been playing some other games other than the game that we really want to talk about. And we're going to make the listeners wait at least a couple more minutes when I talk you through what I've been playing over the last 4 weeks. Because the last episode, I don't believe we had what we've been playing, did we?
We
skipped right through that because we didn't really play much. But I've been playing games in the background, much like Spence, quietly, in the shadows of the night. I've been playing a lot on my Vita, actually, considering we're just talking about the Vita, on my travels back and forth to work. So for everyone that doesn't know, I've moved over to a place called Caldicot in South Wales now. I get the train into Cardiff every day to work that I go into the office, not every day, 2 days a week. And I always pick up my Vita and play a little bit of Uncharted Golden Abyss. And it's been keeping me company for this amount of time because that game is so damn long. I don't remember it, Davey, being that long and that much of an undertaking to complete this game. Like Uncharted games, they've got a bit of girth to them, a bit of length to them, haven't they, generally on the PS3? But this one in particular seemed to outstay its welcome slightly, although I was loving every single minute, apart from, I would say, the ending. And you probably know already, before I mention it, why I don't like the ending. It's nothing to do with the story. The story is great and it's exactly what you expect from an Uncharted game. And Drake's personality shines throughout, right? And that's the main appeal for this game, ultimately. You just want him flirting his arse off and finding the gold at the end of the adventure. And he does exactly that. But the problem is the end fight is quick time. And it's quick time on a Vita, which actually is quite old now. Okay, so you've got to rub the Vita at certain points. And okay, pressing down, fine. Pressing right or left, fine. It's the diagonals from time to time. I don't know what it is, and I'm not blaming it on the Vita because it's probably a me problem. Seem to mess up more than it executed, okay? So it is showing its age a little bit, this game, but I could imagine at the time it was groundbreaking and people had a lot of fun with it. But playing it now in 2026, it was just frustrating. And there's a few of them throughout the game. Like sometimes when you go squeeze through bricks and you've got to like dodge people at certain points, yes, a little bit from time to time. But the end boss, I swear it's like 15 minutes long, right? Of just quick times, and he's just talking you through. You're on a bridge, right? And you fall off the bridge, you get back on, you punch him and he falls up, right? You know, it's just we all saw it coming, but it's just quick time event after quick time event, and you get 3 goes, right? So if you mess up the first time, you can make 2 more mistakes before it cuts you off. I messed up a couple of times on that one, I must admit. But outside that, the game is fabulous. And towards the end, it does get a little challenging as well. There is a little bit of skill to the game, especially when the kind of mobs come out with the big machine guns and they're all armored up, and you need the sniper rifle to like knock their helmet off and like expose their weak points. And then there's certain times when you're kind of running away from things, you get a lot of enemies firing at you, and you've got to climb ropes and jump off things, and it's all a bit of a panic towards the end. And that's all fantastic. But as I said, the game is very, very long, right? And I was quite surprised that actually back in the day, I did complete this game, because I looked back on my Vita trophies of when I completed the game and get the completing on hard or medium, whatever it was, right? And I had actually done it back in the day when the game came out. So I was pretty proud of myself that I stuck it out back in the day, but I couldn't remember what that ending was. It was so long ago. But yeah, 2026, maybe the QuickTime stuff doesn't hold up. That's what I want to say.
Fair enough.
Spectacular game. And still, thank you so much for buying it me, because you did buy it me as an Xmas present. I don't want to completely slate the Vita and the game. Amazing outside, I would say, QuickTime.
And grenade throwing.
I've always had that bugbear, I think. It's just angry me about QuickTime.
Dude,
Frustrates me.
I remember the grenade throwing on that game being a fucking pain in the ass. I don't know if that's still the case, but it was a motion control. So something you had to do motiony or
you
touching.
have to press it on the screen to get it out, and then he throws it, right? There's like a little button, but it's like a screen button, screen touch, as opposed to a physical button, which is frustrating because all the guns and the aiming is all physical buttons. So you have to switch between the two mid-combat, and you're trying to do that while still hold the Vita.
Yeah.
So yes, it can be really frustrating, a little bit tricky. But I'll be honest, I just didn't use it.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, fuck it off.
Just didn't bother. Yeah.
I don't remember much of Golden Abyss, not going to lie. I know I've played it through and completed it, but I don't remember too much, especially at the ending. But I'm glad you've enjoyed it. What's next on the Vita travels now that Golden Abyss is done?
Well, I'm retracing my steps, actually, because I had a Vita, and I'll tell you the story a little bit later when we get to the quick news of what happened to said Vita. But I had a bunch of games, and the next game that I believe I bought back in the day was Little Big Planet. So I've rebought it. I think it cost me £2.30 or something ridiculous before this whole physical stuff came out. So that's the next game on my list. I've installed it and played the first level, and it's cute as hell, and it's exactly what I remember of Little Big Planet. So I'm adventuring through that, and it's a perfect kind of pick up, put down kind of game for like travel. So because those levels, they might last a couple of minutes, or and you probably speed run a couple of them. So yeah, I'm just going to be running those until I get through to the story and complete that one, because I think I did that one back in the day as well. But that's the next game up.
Fantastic. Have you got any more game updates? I don't want to cut you off on here by moving on, but have you got any others?
The only other one would be James Bond, but I haven't really played a lot of that one. It's still ticking along in the background. You will get that back, unlike your Move controllers, because those are long gone. They've been sold years ago. James Bond is still installed on the PlayStation Pro in the living room, but we're currently having our living room decorated. So it's been a little bit difficult sort of dodging in and out to the living room. Outside that, I have been playing probably my favorite game of all time, Monster Train. Been playing a hell of a lot of Monster Train. I am addicted to Monster Train, guys. Like, you slated it, and I thought, do you know what? This is actually probably a game for me, right? It is a geek's game. It is just like it auto plays itself, and you just set up and you just kind of watch it go, and it's all like card based, and it is just a brilliant kind of very PC like centric game. And there's a sequel as well. There's a Monster Train 2. And then, of course, there's Slay the Spire, and it's all of that same ilk of very PC-centric play, okay? So I think that is where I'm probably going to be spending a bit more of my time in the future when I get that all downloaded. But I'm a big fan of Monster Train.
Oh, you got off before the music really started kicking in.
I didn't really have too much more to say. I've completed it on multiple runs now, and I've unlocked all the champions, which I'm very, very pleased about. I'm going to keep stopping. I've got loads I could talk about Monster Train.
He's gamed the system.
I've got it installed on my PlayStation in my office.
He's gamed it.
So
I love this.
Whenever I've got like lunchtime, I put it on, do a run.
Fuck's sake.
It's been a lot of fun. So I encourage everyone to possibly just ignore Spencer and Davey. They've got Psyops and Gitaru Man. Obviously, you could play those, or you could play a man's game. We'll play Monster Train.
Cool. Right, let's move on, shall we? No, I'm happy for you, mate.
It's great.
I'm happy for you, mate. I really am.
I'm happy
I
for you,
really
man.
am.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
So the big game, let's take it out of the shadows, put it into the light, is Tokon Fighting Souls. So we have been keen on this ever since it was first ever revealed. So it is no surprise that all three of us have picked this game up. Now, we had an initial play session, which was round wide on day of release, about an hour after it came out, because for us in the UK, it went live at like 5 p.m. I think you guys arrived for about like 6-ish, half 6, something like that, on the Thursday. And we were straight into it, right? Mashing buttons galore. We've each then had a very busy weekend, and we've had probably little sporadic moments of time with it. We're now recording on the Monday, the 10th, so it's only been a few days since it's out. It's still week 1, only halfway through week 1. I want to get your thoughts on Tokon so far. Has it lived up to your expectations? Your characters, the lot. And Phil, I'm going to start with you.
So Monster Train got 86% on Metacritic, guys. 86. But a game, and I'm tangentially linking this to Tokon because Tokon hasn't got a Metacritic score yet. I did look that up earlier, unfortunately. So you will have to wait till next episode for me to give you the all-important Metacritic score update for Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls. But generally what I'm seeing across the internet, it's very favorable if you look from a PlayStation optic.
Yes.
If you look from a PC optic, it's trash. People freaking hate all the technical issues they've been having over on PC. But we are we are PlayStation players, excuse me. We might be PC players in the future. And everyone is loving it over on PlayStation. I did, of course, buy Tokon as a physical release. I got that on the 9th. So there's a little bit of an omission there,
Bloody
unfortunately. It did take 3 extra days to get to me because I really wanted the physical so much to be up on my shelf. So, but we did have that amazing play session at yours, Davey, on August 6th, which was incredible. It was nice to actually play a fighting game sort of day one with you guys while we are just rolling our faces on the fight sticks, because none of us really had much of a semblance of understanding of the game, and we were just tapping things and watching all the pretty colors happening on the screen. And there is a hell of a lot of pretty colors on the screen at any one time. But from what I've started to realize by watching quite a lot of videos in my spare time of Marvel Tokon, because I've been low-key obsessed with this game, there's levels, boys. There's levels with this, right? You can get someone who goes in and auto combos, much like myself, and has a great time. So the barrier to entry with a fighting game, generally, with this one, is really, really, really low, okay? And we've seen that as a trend now, haven't we? With new fighting games, such as the latest Street Fighter, they started to make it a lot more easier for newbies to get involved with fighting games. Some fighting games, you get involved, you get into ranked, and you just effed. And then you just quit straight away. So what the fighting games community and the producers and the developers have understood, we need to get the newbies involved. We need to get people excited about this game and make it easy for them to play. And Tokon very much does that. But because it's got such a low barrier to entry, all right, you can start at any time, auto combat, and have a great time. I think the ceiling is going to be super high with this game. And I think it's going to be such a juxtaposition when someone gets on who has played a hell of a lot of it compared to someone who is just mashing keys and having a great time. But you can all play and have a great time, as I said, because it is a very easy game to get involved with. And we started day one and we had a great time. We were just going through randoming characters until something felt like it sticked. And for me, there was 2 characters in particular, which actually I felt really quite not comfortable with, but I had a lot of fun, and probably the biggest smile of the night was when I was throwing bullshit out at the back of Penny Parker. As soon as I started to understand what you could do with that character, started to climb up on the walls and all that kind of stuff and doing the E-Honda butt bounce. It was a lot of fun with that character. So that was the one that has grasped me the most, I would say. Outside, I suppose, Magneto, which I immediately was able to string together some sort of semblance of a combo. I don't know if it's optimized in any way. Probably not. And it was more than the auto combo that I was doing with Penny Parker. I could do a lot more with Magneto. Things started to gel a little better with that game, with that character. But I started to also play a little bit around with Blade, a bit with Carnage. Both of those seem awesome as well. So I think that's kind of where my team is looking. But hey, this is going to age really badly because I can imagine not playing any of these characters in the future. Because from what I've seen on the internet, these are all freaking low tier characters. No one's enjoying these. Everyone's playing Magic or the Hulk, from what my Twitter feed is saying, Davey. So you've picked a character that a lot of people like because that character seems super broken from what people are seeing playing at the moment. So I'm really interested to see where you've matured to since we played on August 6th, because I haven't dived back in since, unfortunately. I've got the game, I've installed it, but I haven't had that chance to actually sit down and put any meaningful time in since we had that initial kind of button bashing session at yours.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I've been pretty busy this weekend. I haven't had as much time as I wanted to. Like parenthood, sucks. It's just there's always other things to do, right? Like, but I've managed to scrape in the odd hours here and there. And the big thing, and you're completely right in saying this, there's so many fucking levels to this. And every single lab session I have, I come away with a deeper understanding of my characters, and then also a bigger understanding of the gulf that awaits me of where it will build to in the future. And that's really exciting for a fighting game player. There's nothing worse than thinking, you play a few hours of it and you're like, okay, I get it, right? Like there's nothing kind of worse than that, nothing to kind of strive for. For me, my characters, as you said, day one, very much a case of vibing with Cap from the betas and everything else. And then really, and a little bit of Wolverine, but then really vibing with Hulk, right? Hulk's pick up and play. He's fucking gorilla brain. And when you don't know what anyone's doing, he's got mad damage, right? Like absolutely insane damage. And it was very easy to pick up like some basic strings and just be a menace, right? And he's got enough kind of bullshit gimmicks, like with his super armor and with his teleporting ultra and all this shit, that you can just wail on somebody if they don't have a clue, right? And that's really, really appealing when you're just all kind of button mashing and figuring it out together. Hulk's got some mega weaknesses, like blatant weaknesses, and he reminds me a lot of E Honda at the start of Street Fighter 6. So Street Fighter 6, E Honda, for those that have a long memory, was an absolute scrub killer. Right, he was the fucking menace. There was patches done to nerf him into the ground, and really, he's never come back because even though they've buffed him now and he's stronger than he was originally, he's fucking brain dead and he's easy to fight against, right? Like all it takes is Shuriken and he's game over for that character, right? It really is fucking grim. So that character is like one of the worst in the entire game in Street Fighter 6, but it takes years and it takes a bit of time for that to really cement itself and for that to really kick in. I imagine Hulk's going to go the same way. I imagine Hulk's going to be one of those ones that gets a lot of shine really early. He's got big damage. People aren't used to how to fight against him, but give it a couple of months and I'm telling you, this character's going to fall off. Like, it's going to fall off hard because he gets opened up easy. Not having an air dash is so detrimental in this game. And I'm really learning that now, especially after playing against Spence quite a bit. Like, having mobility makes such a difference to a character. Like, it really, really does. My character I'm vibing with the most at the moment is Captain America. It really is. And I've started now from not even up until even yesterday, I didn't have a B&B. I didn't have like my bread and butter combos that I was going for. I was dropping them all the time. And it was because I was trying to run before I could walk. And so I had like just this brainwave, really. I was playing with Spence and Casey last night. And I was like, they were playing. And I was like, I'm going to go in the lab for a second. I got a real easy, basic B&B combo. And then from there, things just started happening. It started getting a bit easier, right? I started to get a little bit more damage. And then now today, I've built on that with some more sauce. And I've got to take that into a live environment and see if I can still do this stuff. But if I can, then my damage is going to go up quite a lot. So it'll be really fun. And the big thing with Cap is the Ricochet shield is just so saucy. He's got so much sauce. And I can see when I'm labbing him, I'm like, I can make this better. I can do this to make this better. I can use my EX moves so that my combo doesn't degrade more. I can feel the cogs shifting, right? The dyspraxia, which torments me on a fighting game when I first get onto it, is getting overcome because of the muscle memory I'm building in the lab, and it's starting to pay dividends. I am so in for this. I love it so much. My game plan is Cap all the way. Learn Cyclops. Learn friggin' Iron Man as a secondary, which can be tough. It's going to be a lot to learn flight combos and to learn a lot. But the idea is to get myself future ready for when a character comes out. We'll talk about it in the quick news. But I am very much loving it, and you are completely right. The levels, Phil, are huge. I don't know how to play 2 characters yet. I don't have any setups yet for how I can tag safely between them and keep the combos going. All that's to come, and that's what makes it so appealing in the future to be able to have these things to strive for. Spence, what about yourself? How are you finding Tokon, my dude?
It's just a bit good, isn't it? It's just a decent game, I reckon. I think I've probably got the most time in it out of us 3. Very much like yourselves, we had that day button bashing together, a lot of fun. I explored with a lot of characters. I can't really think of who I enjoyed the most that day. I think I kind of just kept playing random. But then on the weekend, I was over Annabelle's all weekend, so I didn't get to play it. But I've had time here and there, and working from home is just great. So I've put quite a bit of time in. I think I've got maybe about 15 hours now, ish. So I've beat the campaign for my team, and done a few miscellaneous trophy things. And I've been labbing. I've been playing online with friends. I've done 1 casual match, no ranked and nothing else. But my team, surprise, surprise, fucking Spider-Man in it. The goat, Spider Goat, baby. And he's like S+ tier at the moment.
Ignore any
That's a
tier
bit
list.
biased, man.
Ignore
Yeah, I know.
any tier list at
At
this
the
point.
moment.
Please
I
do.
know. But that's what people are thinking. And in my head, I'm like, why? Why is the S+ tier? And I know why. It's because the web zip is just ignorant, is what it is. If to give it a word, it's ignorant as hell. He doesn't play neutral. He just sips in your face and then starts slapping you about. I love him. And then I do also have Storm, Blade, and Wolverine as my assists. You could swap them for anyone. I don't play any of them. I would like to play Storm, but she's really hard, so I'm just not going to bother. That's all right. I'll just play someone else. I'll wait till they eventually do a partnership with Capcom and Dante's in the game. That's what I want. Oh, God, that'd be so sick. But yeah, Spidey, just been labbing, practicing stuff. My combos aren't great, I will say. I keep accidentally, because I know what to do, but my hands just mash a button when I know that's not what I should be doing. I should be doing like low square, low triangle, stand triangle, launch, or not launch, just jump, rise with it. No, I'm doing fucking auto combo starters and then into my combo, which is killing my damage. But I'm learning that as I'm playing and I'm figuring it out. And every now and then in a real game, I think that's where the magic happens, because you're forced to do what you can with what you have left, whether that be your EX bar or your assemble bar. And that's where I'm really learning the game. I'm actually learning more in games than I am in the lab, I think, at the moment. And I'm enjoying it a lot. This game is fan-fucking-tastic. And I can't wait to play more, especially with you boys. And I think we're going to get good. I think it's there. I've got the drive. I want to be good at this game. And I'm going to commit to it because I love this. And I'm excited to see, what the future of this game is, how the meta develops, and what characters we get added in the future.
We need to organise some more locals, really, don't we?
Yeah,
100%. I'm up for
The best way.
I'm up for having it on a weekly staple that we put in. Like people have like Dungeons and Dragons night or whatever. We just have locals on Tokon, boys. Come on round. We'll get together. We'll button mash. We'll all figure stuff out. We'll all help each other, right? Like there's never a time like me and Spence have played Street Fighter against each other for hundreds of hours, right? Like hundreds of hours of playing Street Fighter. And it's just the best way to be able to learn and just to, bash your head against it. And it's one of those things, if you identify something that the other person is doing wrong, or that you're letting me get away with this, like to tell each other and to help like each other all progress, right? Like, and we were playing with Casey yesterday. Casey's working on his characters. None of us are proficient in any way, shape, or form. So it'd be one of those things that for the next few months, if we get it into like the regular thing to like get together and help, no one's going to be that far behind. Even if there is a bit of a gap, it won't be so sizable that one of us has figured out everything and has it all locked down. None of us are Justin fucking Wong, right? Like, it's going to take us quite a while to get... Oh, yeah, man. Imagine it's him all along. It's been me all along. I'd feel great about losing to a download if it was just in one I lost to. As at randoms, pissed up. I'd be like, fucking Justin, you can drink mine. But yeah, I think this is the thing. We just got to get together and grind it because it is time, it's practice, and it's it's just getting that muscle memory, right? Like it's something. It's been very hard to be able to get the basics down. I've really struggled with it. So I think like for any of you guys who are getting in the lab and are trying these things, it's not working. Just keep on going, just keep on building on it. And it's one of those things where I was getting frustrated. Would lab for an hour, couldn't land anything, and I was like, "What the fuck is wrong with me?" Go to bed, wake up the next day, and just do it because your brain just absorbs that information like while you're away from that thing as well. So don't be afraid to step away and come back, and then all of a sudden you might find that some of it's kind of sunk in, or you've subconsciously your brain's been working in the background to try and figure out what that issue is and why it's not working, and then you'll be surprised that it just suddenly clicks because that's what's starting to happen to me. Very early days.
Or try a different character.
Yes.
Like all the characters seem mad unique to me. I don't feel like there's any two characters that are similar in any way. Like compared to like a Street Fighter game where like Ken and Ryu, there's similarities, right? They feel like for someone who's fresh to Street Fighter, they feel very similar, right? For you boys, obviously it's night and day, but for a new person to the game, they feel very similar, right? With this game, every character seems mad unique. And there's so much to it that I'm not even getting what the things are down the bottom just yet, right, with this game. And they've all got unique stuff going on. So go through and read everything. That's probably the biggest advice. And the advice that I'm taking is to go in and just read all the character like move sets before you start to try and pick your character and start to try to execute some of those moves, because they can be so difficult and so daunting when you first see them because there is so many moves for each character.
100%.
It really is.
And the character guides are also an absolute godsend. So they're really, really well done. I've never known a game actually where it's changed. It's made me really think about how it works like this has. So like, obviously I played my most played game on PlayStation is Dragon Ball Fighters, right? I got like 700 odd hours across both PS5 and PS4 on it or whatever. Still don't have the platinum. Still didn't earn 20 million Zenny. Cheers, thanks a lot. But that game was pretty straightforward, right? In terms of like one character to another. Generally, you could just pick up whoever, and it would you figure it out pretty quick. You're very right, Phil. This isn't like that, but the guides that are within it are amazing. So you got like a first 10, which are like teaching you what the moves do, and what the uniques are for that character, and kind of telling you the bare bones. Then you've got 10 combo trials, which teach you kind of how the combo system works for that character specifically and what you can do. And a lot of that is quite universal, character to character. And then after you've mastered all those, and they're fucking hard, especially the end ones, always tough, you then get onto a kind of like a mastery 5 trials, and it gives you a way that you've got to like start the combo or include something in it. And you've got like a damage that you have to reach to be able to pass it. So it might be like 40,000 damage. You got 50 bar. So you're like, okay, you have to use a super in there to like end the combo, and you start with a light. And that's it. And you're like, okay, how do I do that? And you just kind of like, you figure it out. It just gets you to think about, oh, okay, I've come up at 39,000. What would get that extra 1,000 there? What am I missing on this, right? And you just try stuff until you do it. And that's been amazing. That's been so good for me to be able to try and think about how I can maximize it. Like, do I start with a medium start? Do I start with a heavy? Do I, all these different things which are just the scaling. You've got all that built into it, let alone the actual training mode itself, which you can customize to however you see fit. So there are so many tools there. All it takes is time and perseverance, and your hands will get there. It's just practice. It really, really is. Spence, you said you haven't touched much of the training. What have you been up to in the lab?
I've done all of Spidey's character guide. I've done all of his combo trials. There was one though I was just stuck on, and it was just he does the web zip up, and if you basically you have to do hold down and web to hit them, and then as it hits, you then switch to back and web, and that grabs and yanks. And that's like tricky. And that I was stuck on for ages. Now it's second nature. I'm hitting it every time. But I got stuck on that for a while. I've looked at doing those extra ones after. I just haven't bothered yet because I keep just in my head whenever I've got time when no one's on and I've just, I'm sweating. I don't want to keep labbing anymore. I'm going into the trophy list, looking at miscellaneous stuff and thinking, what can I quickly tick off just to get towards that platinum? And initially I thought this platinum might be, a quick, easy one. It's not. It actually isn't at all. You have to beat every single campaign, which obviously everyone knows in the trailers. I know there's more to this.
Okay, right. Because that's easy.
So, yeah, well, let me finish, blood.
Oh.
So, in the trailers, the whole lead up, they were introducing teams, and each team has it's the same story, but its own side of the story, and you need to beat every single one. And every single time I think you do it, I think the end gets harder, but I might be wrong about that. But yeah, and then there's also for the platinum the mini games you have to do. An Arcadia Rumble I just did takes 10 minutes. It's shit. Worst part of the game. Hated it. Could not stand it. I will never touch it again. But you can do single player against bots on easy and just get it done. Nice. Sorted. Terrible game mode. Then there's also this all-star arena mode where you have to clear a course. So battle, loads of battles on several different difficulties with every single team. And for a trophy, you need to beat the champions course, which you only unlock after beating the all-star course with every single team, which is several difficult battles. And then you have to do the champions one, which is going to be even harder. So it's something you can tick off at a steady rate. It won't take that long, but it's daunting before you start. Once you start making progress in it, I'm sure it won't be as long as I think it is, but at the moment it seems long and tough.
Well, you'll be glad to know, Spence, I looked up the trophy list. It's rated as a 3 out of 10.
Oh,
difficulty.
God, hell yeah.
And that says clear the champion course in All-Star Arena. It's on Power Picks. It says trophy description for this is actually misleading. All-Star Arena offers 5 difficulty settings from easy to champion. The description makes it sound like you have to finish one run of this mode on champion difficulty, which is actually not the case. Instead, the game wants you to finish one run in each of the 5 available courses, one time to unlock the champion course in the middle of the course grid and finish it afterwards. It's a case of naming a difficulty setting and a course the same way, which may cause confusion. So it should be pretty easy, bro.
Okay, very good. Awesome. All right, never mind. Fuck me. Let's get this platinum, boys. Hell yeah. Let's
Platinum
go.
next week then, Spence.
Hell yeah. The slog is you have to do 500 online battles. And you have to do ultimates a certain amount of times. You need to do the counter reflects or whatever they're called a certain amount of times. But, we'll get there. That'll just happen with time. That's not something I'm desperate for. So, we'll get her done. But yeah, great fucking game. Very excited, boys. Very excited. I if only we had more technical issues,
Yeah, exactly right. If only the podcast was having a problem and we had to stop here and play more Tokon, because I think that's exactly what we all want to do. But audience, I'd love to know how you're getting on with Tokon. Who's your mains? What are you thinking of the game? Do you want to battle, right? Because we are going to open up, because there's quite a few PC players that we know that are in our Discord that we've been playing with, Casey being one. We're going to open up a Tokon TeamSpeak on there, so you can go on, join TeamSpeak, meet up in Discord, let's get some games on. It's all done by room codes, so I think it makes sense to be able to create a separate thing into our Discord channel, to be able to go on and find people to fight. We'll all be in there, we're looking for opponents all the time, regardless of skill level. Even if you're totally gash, it's a good way for us to test our combos. So there you go, win-win for everyone, right? You can learn what's possible, you can get smoked by us, everyone wins, right? We want to know how you...
We'll have fun.
Yeah.
You might not.
yeah, we'll have a great time. We want to hear how you get on.
You can come and beat me, audience.
There you
Don't
go.
worry, I'm no good.
None of us are good yet, pal. Don't worry about it. Give it a week or two, mind. Be smoking some ass. But audience...
I will
also
very quickly say, just because you mentioned PC players, there was a patch today that apparently fixed quite a lot of the issues on PC. Because I'm in a Discord as well, and they're all PC players, and some of them are like, I'm not even touching online until it gets fixed. But there was a patch today which apparently has helped a lot. So I don't know if it's fully sorted, but they've done that quick. So they're working on it.
There you go. Well, with that, we're going to move it on to the quick news. Quick news.
Quick news, listeners and viewers. Welcome to the quick news, which is arguably the best part of the goddamn show. Yes, we're at quick news, guys. Are you ready? Because we've been out and scoured the length and breadth of the PlayStation Nation to come together and bring you the news. The latest quick news, handpicked by Davey San himself. He has gone out and picked 6 really sad news articles that we're going to go over and we're going to discuss for your listening pleasure. But because we have a king and we're presence of the king, King Spencer, we're bowing down to you once again, King Spencer, and you have a stipulation, which of course, because I had many technical issues at the start of this show, I am unaware of. I think you tried to explain it, but I would like you to explain it one more time for me and the listening public so we understand what the hell's going on in quick news. What is the stipulation, young Spence?
So obviously last time my stipulation, we'll be honest, it was lazy. It was just, we just do the news and you all vote. But it wasn't lazy. We were making quick news quick again. I stand by that. I was just being a bit lazy though. This time, as much as I would have loved to have just done that again, ultimately it would have just been Davey getting 10 shots. So I thought to save him, we'll change it up. We'll actually do something this time. So now every episode, every bit of quick news you deliver, you have to first say either an interesting fact, could be like a short story, but really, let's keep it a bit concise. It is quick news after all. But a fact, it could be about a bad time you've had, a good time you've had, something you're good at, something you could do, something you're terrible at, just something about yourself. This is a chance for the listeners and us as friends to learn more about each other and to delve deeper into each other's lives. And whoever has the shittest fact, whether it just be, say your fact is something you can't do and it's just a joke, because why can't you do that? Grow up. Then, maybe you get the shot, or maybe it's just downright boring and then you also get the shot. I think we're 3 interesting lads, so I think it might be entertaining, but who knows? But that is the stipulation, and it's our choice who loses, as much as there might be an audience vote, an audience poll in the descriptions. It's not going to matter to shit, because Davey would get the shit end of the stick. So it's up to us.
Yeah. So I still might get the shit end of the stick, but at least it's you guys doing it rather than
you will.
People hiding behind their keyboards.
As much as we want to encourage crowd participation, you're all trolls. You're Davey trolls. For whatever reason, you've targeted him. You saw the weak one in the crowd and you've gone for him. You've gone for his weak little legs. You've stood up to him like an MMA fighting star and you've kicked him in the side of the leg and he's gone down like a sack of shit. That's what happened repeatedly for the last 10 episodes. So go back and listen to them. They're amazing.
Yeah, they were good. They were good fun. But yeah, see you in Tokon, audience. Fucking fuck you up. Not yet. Give me time. Let me laugh.
Well, Davey, I think as you have a lot to prove, I think it's best that we come to you first for the quick news. We've been doing this for a while now, haven't we? You going first. So let's not break with tradition for the quick news and go over to you first for your first quick news.
All right.
And fact, actually.
Of course.
Fact about yourself first, please.
Fact about myself. So I won't go on a winding story here, but for whatever reason...
It's not Final Fantasy, is it?
No, certainly not. Certainly not. This is about myself. This is about me, myself and I. So when I was a kid, right, I was allergic to food colouring, right, which was a very weird thing to be allergic to. And apparently a lot of kids were allergic to it at the same time. Like, it was like a big thing. There was like something they were putting in the food. And my parents found out when I had like a piece of halibut or something like that had been like, they used to dye the halibut like yellow to give it that yellowy like sheen that halibut has. And like my throat was closing up. It was like really, really bad. Like I don't remember any of this stuff. My parents told me. Really, really bad. Eventually grew out of that, right? And then what's happened as I've gotten older is I've gotten more and more allergies to things that are just fucking annoying. Like, none of them lethal in any way, shape, or form, but I'll reel off my allergy list for you, right, boys? Obviously, hay fever sucks. Allergic to pollen. Loads of people have that, though. Not a big deal. Pain in the arse, though. allergic to hazelnuts, right? So it makes my throat go all itchy and horrible. So I can't enjoy hazelnut foods or drinks or spreads or any of that stuff. Hazelnut off the table. Allergic to soy, which sucks ass. Soy's in loads of shit. And allergic to lactose. So I'm lactose intolerant and soy intolerant. And what that means is that whenever I want to get something, if it says it's lacto-free, I have to check every single label to see if it's enriched with soy protein. 99% of them are. So it makes my life fucking miserable because all that will happen is I get swollen and I shit. It sucks. It's not life-threatening in any way, shape or form. It's more annoying. So gone from food allergy to colour, which is wild, to then period of my time where everything was good, everything was gravy, and now, for whatever reason, 37, allergic to a whole host of stuff. I got to wait apparently 7 years or so, right, before things kind of reset. So we'll see what I'm allergic to then. Maybe fucking oxygen. We'll have a look. We'll see what kind of fucking hand I get dealt.
Where are you getting swollen?
Stomach, mate, like gassy. Like gassy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not like a good swollen, is it? It's
Not
not,
like
like you're getting
arms.
swole.
No.
You take a bit of soy and you're just like
Popeye. Yeah, no.
Because
No.
he was allergic to spinach. Most people don't understand that today about
It was.
Popeye.
That's what was
He
happening.
was incredibly allergic to spinach, but loved the fucking taste of it. You know, he could do a whole can in one,
Yeah,
and then he got
downed
swole
it,
because
yeah.
of it, didn't he?
He did. It's like that. I love cheese, right? I absolutely love cheese. It turns out my favorite foods are all dairy based. And here we are. And so sometimes I just fucking roll the dice, baby. Sometimes I'll just eat that double cream.
They taste
yeah.
the best, don't they? The
They
forbidden
do.
fruit.
They do. And I have to just say to Karen, she's like, oh, I'm in for it. And I'm like, I ain't seeing you tomorrow. Because I'll just be on and off that toilet. And do you know what? It's worth it every goddamn time. But by the 10th shit, I'm like, maybe those profiteroles weren't worth it, you know? And then I'll go like a couple of months away, super clean. And then all of a sudden that little lactose demon on my shoulders, you want a pizza though? I do, and if I'm doing it, I might as well get an ice cream as well, you know? Fuck, Paul hog it, baby. We're gonna eat butter and all sorts. And then, yeah, right off. But, you know, nothing threatening, nothing life-threatening. It's not like a peanut allergy, which is a big deal. Nothing like that. Just mildly uncomfortable, which is first world problems. Quick news. So, here we are. Major news, and this is positive news here. And I popped the fuck off. Now, this is old news now at this point. I've had this in the doc since July 23rd, but we obviously didn't really cover this before. We have the first character announced for Tokon Fighting Souls Year 1 DLC. Boys, it's one that we're ticking off on the list that I predicted, so it's a shot for me to take forward. Cyclops is in. It's Phoenix Cyclops, but it's still Cyclops. He's
got it half right, hasn't he, Spence?
Excuse me, Cyclops is the character the Phoenix Force just inhabited
Half a shot.
I think you'll find that there's going to be a costume for this guy. It's going to be the classic 90s costume. I bet my fucking ass on it.
Well, wait and see.
Guarantee it.
Double or nothing?
Yes, I'll double or nothing that. I will double or nothing that. It's got a 3-month window for those costumes to come out, thank you. I reckon.
Right.
3-month window.
Yeah. From the release of the character, yeah. Because it might be like Street Fighter 6, you know, where they pepper them in every so often, right? We don't know how quick they're going to be flying off the bat here. But they've
I don't feel that's fair, Spence, do you? So we could have any character as long as it's a little bit connected in some way.
It is the character. It's Scott Summers himself. He just has the Phoenix Force as an extra goodie.
But it's not Cyclops, is it?
It is.
It's Phoenix Cyclops.
It's Cyclops, thank you very much. It is
Well,
Cyclops.
Why didn't they just call him Cyclops and then have a costume for the Phoenix Cyclops then?
Do you know how fucking boring his moveset would be? It would literally just be shooting optic blasts
That's 'cause
and
of how
punching. It would just be...
Boring the character is, mate.
He's fucking cool, thank you. But but with the Phoenix Force, it means that he's going to have a gauge then. He's going to have like a gauge for his Phoenix energy. Probably have an install turned to like Dark Phoenix, which he does in the comic, spoiler alert. It's probably going to have like, there's a lot more gameplay utility you can do with Phoenix Cyclops. And it's a cool throwback to a decent comic series in X-Men vs. Avengers. It's definitely Cyclops. It's a tick in my book, but I was fucking buzzing. I was absolutely buzzing. I couldn't believe it. I hoped that Cyclops would be there. but never in my wildest dreams would I get the bad Cyclops, like the fucking badass Cyclops. This guy fucks. Like, he fucks. He's the strongest one in this fucking game by far.
Never in your dreams you could predict something like that, could you?
All I wanted was Cyclops, and all they did, Arc System Works, they said, we're going one better. We're giving the best version of the character. And they have. So thank you very much, Arc System Works. Anyone else excited as I am for the arrival of Scott Summers' Cyclops to Marvel Tokon?
Before that, mate, I'm gonna be on Phil's side a little bit. If there's a classic costume, you can have it. If there is no classic costume,
it's not going to be launched though. They're not going to have it on launch.
I'm happy for the 3-month window as well. But obviously, you don't get to give out a shot until this time is over. 3 months from the day he's in the game.
Yeah.
So put it in your calendar. If there's no classic costume, you're not having it.
I tell you what,
and Davey has to take a shot. It's double or nothing.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if I get it though, it means I get 2.
Yeah.
Cool. I get to give it out 2, or I take 2.
No. If you get it, you get 1. If you get it wrong,
it's
you
not
get
double
2.
or nothing, is it? That's not double. That's
double
I was
or
already
one
getting
nothing.
1 for the character, so I'll get 2.
It's double or 1 then. Whatever the popular saying is.
It's double or what? Double or nothing, baby.
Double or 1.
So I either give it 2 shots, or I take 2. I'll do that. I'll take that.
That's better than double or nothing. That's even better than double or nothing for us,
That's better than double or nothing odds.
Because it sounds like
it's like a side bet on
Arc
the bet.
System Works, right, is going to play fast and loose with characters because of this inclusion of Phoenix Cyclops, because they've got more freedom to be over the top with, I suppose, Cyclops' moveset, as you said, because Cyclops generally quite a boring character. So they thought, how can we spice this up, right? And introduce something that would bring in a lot more eyes. So I think they're going to probably do a lot of these amalgamations of characters moving forward, okay? So I think if we're happy to settle for this rule for you on this one, this is how it's going to be moving forward, because we've got the existing list, haven't we, that we predicted.
We do.
So if, for example, we get, I don't know who I even predicted, Venom, for example. Maybe I did Venom at some stage.
Yeah, you might have done.
Yeah. So if we get a Venom version of,
Lizard.
I don't know, the Lizard, yes, or Mysterio, yes, then I can have the same as you then, as long as they got the classic costume.
Okay, deal.
Yeah.
So that's what we'll do going forward.
Colors, alternate colors doesn't count. It has to be a costume.
Classic costume, yeah.
It can't be a normal Scott colorway.
Oh yeah, that's fine. That's cool. That's cool, because like we've seen the difference of like the Captain America Legacy costume, that kind of thing, right? So like that's what I'm thinking. It would be like
good.
Yeah,
good.
that's what I'm thinking. But I give myself the window, because then they're going to drop like a few costumes in one go for people to buy them, so it gives them time to be able to roll that out whenever that is. But I'm happy that being a 3-month window. I think that's fair.
Okay, yeah, agreed. All right, well then I'll answer your actual question in. I am excited for Phoenix Cyclops, mate. I'm happy for you. That's what it is. I'm very happy. And Cap is annoying as fuck, so I can't wait for you to be off him, mate. That rebounding shield, as much as now you've actually got a combo that I saw earlier, it's actually quite cool now. In neutral, it's a fucking nightmare. So play Phoenix Cyclops, bro. Hell yeah. And honestly, if he's cool, I'm not going to play him. But an optic blast full screen would be a fantastic assist. So I might have him on the team. Who knows? But I wouldn't play him because it's fucking Cyclops, mate. Grow up. But his assist could go crazy. So, you might even be on my team. So I am very excited, mate. And I'm very happy for you. I am very happy for you.
Thank you, mate. What about yourself, Mr. Hoy? Are you excited to see Scott Summers' inclusion?
Yeah, I'm excited to see him in the game, as well as his kind of Phoenix kind of part of this. And how is that going to work? Because Phoenix has been in a previous Marvel game, hasn't she? And she had this kind of very weak character initially, but she had kind of the highest kind of damage potential in the game, didn't she? Once she was able to power up. So it's all about killing her before she could possibly get to the Phoenix state. So I'd be interested to see what they do to include the Phoenix part of Cyclops and make it worth the inclusion other than just the name. That's what I'm really interested to see. Of course, I'm happy for you to have a character that you have affinity with, because so far, obviously, you've latched on to Cap, and I don't hate Cap. I haven't seen you in your latest form of Cap, but what I hate is the Hulk. So we need another couple of characters before we can push off Hulk a little further, because I didn't understand how to get through Hulk. So we need a couple more of your characters to start to launch, and then you won't play Hulk as much. That's what I'm hoping for ultimately. But no, it's interesting, and I'm very, very keen to understand now where Arc System Work takes this amalgamation of a character and then sort of builds on that for the future of the game. Are they going to do a couple of kind of combos of characters now because they want to shoehorn a lot of the Marvel names and search terms into the kind of story they're trying to build around Marvel? Or are we going to get some more generic ones in the future? That's kind of my question. Where they're going to go next, we don't know.
Well, yeah, that's the exciting thing, isn't it? I suppose this is the great thing, is that we know that Phoenix Cyclops coming out in fall. So I imagine around about October-ish time. So from there, it's anyone's guess, right? Like I've got people that I think may be included. Like my brain is telling me it's going to be Gladiator, like really badly. I think Gladiator's going to be in it. But it's kind of like, it's a deep cut, right? Like it's a real deep cut. And even though he's shown in like the opening kind of cinematic and stuff like that, like kind of wrecked, that's where my brain's going, but it could literally go anywhere, and that's what's so exciting about it. So one to keep an eye on for the future for definite, and every time we get a new character snippet, you're goddamn sure we're going to be bringing it up on this show. So even if you're not interested, if you come off from riding the marathon train and you're like, thank God they stopped talking about that, can't wait to hear what they talk about next, and now this is Tokon. So strap in. We're going to have this for a while.
They're going to be hoping we play Tokon, aren't they?
Marathon.
They're going to be hoping we play more marathon.
They will.
No, they really will.
When's the marathon episode coming up? Maybe we'll do them alternate episodes, all right?
Don't think so, mate. I'm playing enough. No, I'm playing nothing but Tokon now.
Yeah,
so with the end of that, let's move it on. Spence, let's come across to you. Let's have your fact and let's have your piece of quick news.
Sure, mate, sure. So I'll follow suit with your fact, actually. I'll kind of go in the same vein. So I am currently probably the most damaged I have ever been in my life. And I will go full TMI for you right now, audience.
Oh, go on.
So I have had sinusitis since the start of March. Sinusitis is where your sinuses are bunged up with kind of just mank stuff. And it
too much.
It looks like it. It looks like it, mind. I'll explain in a minute. But it's all bunged up in my sinuses, and it goes up here on my head above my left eyebrow, and I've had a headache since the start of March. So if I've ever seemed in a bad mood, that might be why. But it's a little headache, and then some days it's a massive headache, really, really bad. So that's awful, very damaged. I went to the hospital last week. They put a camera through my nose, and then it went all the way through my face and down my throat from my nose, which is not. To be fair, it sounds worse than it is. It didn't feel that intrusive. It was fine. It helped. They put like numbing spray.
You stuck things up there before.
Yeah,
nah, just my fingers, mate. Just my fingers. But that's it. Awful. But they showed him, and it's like the left side, the right side's perfectly clean. It's fine. The left side, fucked. It's awful. They showed me a video after of like the whole thing. It's disgusting. On top of that,
keep that video.
I wish,
we'll put it in the show now.
Cool. If you,
no, that's Patreon. Content.
Yeah, Patreon. My freaking sciences. Yeah, man.
I look inside Spence's head.
There's a point where the camera went to my throat, and he went, "Oh, can you swallow?" And I swallowed, and you see all the liquid that was in my throat just go away, and like the whole movement of my throat.
All the cum.
Yeah.
For the doctor. Swallow.
I should have asked afterwards. I was like, oh, I wish I'd recorded that or something, but I didn't. But because of that, they gave me antibiotics, which are coamoxiclav, they're called. And I went to the doctors today to try and get them changed because I've been on them for a week and a half. And since the day after having them, I have had severe diarrhea. So I am going full open here, telling you everything.
Jesus, man.
It's been horrific. And not only that, I don't know when this happened, but I told you about it, Phil, over your dad's the other day. I've somehow also either cut or burnt the entire roof of my mouth.
Yeah, you said about that.
Yeah, so
I thought it was down to that Chinese that we had at Davey's.
I think it might have been. I think it might have been, because that's roughly when it happened. So I think the sauce was too hot or something. I've burned the roof of my mouth, but I can feel it with my tongue. There's like cuts and stuff in there. So whenever I eat now, it's not worth me eating. it absolutely kills, and then it kills for ages after. That's why currently, right now, I'm drinking this complete meal, bloody shake protein thing, rather than having dinner, because it hurts so much just to eat.
Jesus.
But I've had stuff like this before, and it doesn't take long to heal, so it should be fine. The sinusitis is getting solved eventually, and the diarrhea, I'm hoping that goes quick. In a few days, I switched to 1 tablet a day instead of 3, so hopefully they've said that fixes it, but who knows? Then the doctors, they said, just tough it out.
Oh, great.
Man up. Great advice from the doctor.
I was like,
It's such a wuss.
I was like, cheers, mate. Blimmin' heck. And I've also got this nasal spray, which I have to shoot up my nostrils twice a day. And I have a nasal rinse where you put it up one nostril and squirt water, and it goes all the way through your nose and comes out the other nostril.
Does that feel lush though after?
It's awful.
Oh,
You can't breathe the whole time it's happening. So you're like, and then the water and like all the bank stuff, you can feel it flowing through you. And sometimes it goes to the back of your throat and you can like taste it and feel it. It's horrific, mate. Horrific. So, and I've been damaged my whole life. I'm an IBS sufferer, which probably doesn't help with the severe diarrhea. Lots of issues. Headaches I never had. This is by far just the most damaged I've ever been. But
Jesus.
thankfully, it doesn't get in the way of Tokon.
There you
So
go.
it's fine.
Doesn't affect your hands.
Doesn't affect my hands one bit. You can tell that. I got the Guitar Man Platinum. It's fine, baby. It sucks, but I'm getting through. But
Right.
that is it. So quick news. So for my bit of quick news, listeners and lads, or guys, gals, non-binary pals, we have a new PlayStation controller patent. And this showcases a controller with no physical buttons. The controller would feature digital buttons similar to like your touchscreen. You know, if you ever play a game on your phone or like an old emulator on your phone and it comes up with a digital like touch, like A, B and D-pad, and
Yeah.
it is always awful.
It's gash.
This is basically a controller with 2 screens where you're able to reposition where the buttons are like you are on your phone when you do this. And there's no actual buttons. You're just tapping a screen. And this is something they apparently think is a good idea. Have you boys seen this patent? And do you think it's even going to come to fruition? Phil, I'll come to you first.
Yeah, I've seen it in the doc. I did have a quick read around this. And the thing that springs to mind whenever I see these kind of outlandish, I probably wouldn't say this one's that outlandish, because it almost strikes me more of being the same interface you have like with a phone or something, or with a tablet, but in a hand shape, a handheld handset shape. That's what I'm trying to say. Like a handset, but just like your phone, being able to tap the screen and reposition the buttons. Because I know on a lot of mobile games, you can reposition where buttons are. And the outstanding kind of plus point to this is the accessibility stuff that you can sort of customize for people who don't maybe use a controller in a traditional way. So I think that would be the main potential for it. But ultimately, I don't see this as something that we're going to see with the PS6, for example. I know last episode there was lots of speculation, wasn't there, around what are we going to do with the DualSense Edge? Are we going to be keeping this, or are we going to be moving on? What's the next kind of iteration of this? How are they going to improve it? And I don't think, even though Sony seem to want to take away everything from us at the moment in terms of physical things, they don't want to take away the physical buttons from our handsets, unless this is a big April Fool's joke, and next April they're just going to go, wah, 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 we had you, actually we're giving you physical games and you're going to have buttons on your handset. I don't think that is actually going to happen, and I don't think this handset is actually going to happen. I think it's one of those R&D kind of things that they're just trialing in the background just to see if they can do it. And once they can, there might be some use cases in the future where we'll see it integrated. But can I see a full handset? No, I cannot.
Okay. I agree with your thoughts, but I've got extra thoughts too. But Davey, across to you first. What do you think of this?
I mean, it's not for me. And I don't think for the majority of people, it's not going to be for them either, right? Phil is right, though. Like, it does open up a world of possibilities for people who have, like, you know, motor issues and things like that, to be able to have that level of customization. Like, remember the that controller that we all lined up thinking it might be good for fighting games, actually, and none of us actually picked it up.
The circular one, yeah.
Yeah, the circular
Well, we
one.
didn't
right?
want to take one off the
Access-
market for someone who did actually want one, Davey. There was a
Exactly.
real reason why we didn't buy one. I think they all looked very cool because they looked like a fight stick, didn't they?
Yeah,
But
they
very
look cool.
customizable fight stick.
Yeah, they're decent. So I think it does open up that possibility. I'll give you one real life positive for this. No stick drift.
There's no
Right.
sticks. Can't get sticky buttons, could you?
No, exactly. So I'll give you that, right? That's the positive. I totally agree. I think it's just one of those things they cooked up. It's like the smell-o-vision controller and all that fucking shit we've had, the hot and cold bollocks, all this stuff. One of those things just been patented. It's just going to sit in the background, and maybe they may find a use for this somewhere in the future. I can't see there being one. I mean, even if you're thinking about like, the PlayStation Portable, whatever the new one is going to be, the new fucking portable device that's been heavily rumored. Even that's going to have physical buttons, right? Like, I can't imagine them just shipping just a fucking tablet and being like, oh, this is actually the Portal, right? Like, that wouldn't go over very well. So I think this is just one of those things that they've just cooked up, just like you were saying, Phil.
Okay, so for me, for one, I was going to make the same point you've made, Davey, where for accessibility issues with, people who need stuff in different places, I think it's a good idea. I think it's clever. And I've just looked at the access controller again, because that is what it's called, as you correctly said, Davey. And it seems like you would kind of have to just move your entire hand for each button, which doesn't seem practical, especially for anything fast-paced. So this could be a solution. Is it a good solution? I think not. Will it come to, reality? Again, I think not. I can't imagine this existing. The only kind of idea I have in my head is if there's like something behind the screen and it's a soft touch screen, that where you position it, it raises it so that there's some kind of feelability in there. But technology is not that advanced. We're not getting there. That's a
That
pipe
sounds
dream.
cool, though. That sounds fucking sick.
Would be cool. Would be very, very cool. But it's weird how on this controller, you have to close your eyes and imagine the triggers are adaptive. You have to be like, "Ooh, I can feel the gun." Oh, but really, you can't even feel a press. It's nothing. Awful idea. It's not going to come to fruition. There's no way. If it does, hopefully, the picture of it looks shit. So hopefully they have some updates, some revisions on it. But who knows? I don't believe this for a second, as much as obviously they have patented it, we know, but I can't imagine this is coming out, even though it might be useful for some people, but maybe when it's a bit revised. I think it's a bit bare bones on that at the minute, and it's just not good. Not good at all. But there's not really much else to say on that, so this one actually was quite a quick news. So we'll move it over to you, Phil. Give us a fact about yourself or a story, or, how are you doing? Are you poorly at the minute?
I'm not. I very rarely get poorly, unfortunately. And I hate this.
Unfortunately, it's a
yeah,
good
it's
thing, pal.
It's probably going to come across as a little bit of a flex, but I very rarely have ever been to the hospital for me. I end up in the hospital a lot for someone in particular who lives with me. Often take her to the hospital, but myself, I just have never needed it. And I've got to 41 in life. I am a fine wine. I am getting better with age. So I have dodged the bullet continuously throughout my 41 years. I've only ever been to hospital twice. Once was a slight issue with my shoulder, and then once was to be born. Other than that, I've never been to the hospital. I've never had I've never had anything wrong with me. I very rarely take or need medication outside the odd paracetamol for a headache after a hangover, but that's self-inflicted, of course. So I've been very, very lucky in life. So unfortunately, guys, flex. I would like to give you a bit of a sad old story, though, because we were talking about PS Vita earlier, and I want to relate this more to PlayStation and give you a bit of a sob story, because I feel that's where you boys have gone. Hopefully everyone will feel sorry for you, and I'll get the vote, because mine won't be as sad as yours, because yours is actually a long-term thing that's haunting you guys. But for me, this has stayed with me for a very, very long time. So I had a Vita on launch, and I was ecstatic to have one, because I never owned a PSP back in the day. I now own two PSPs, both in the black and the red colorway. I believe, Davey, you bought me the black one for some present, birthday, Christmas may have been in the past. But I bought a red one on eBay because I just so obsessed with them, and I just like little gadgety toys to play with. And I wanted to rework it and kind of get it all working up to standard. But that's like a little side project that I'm sure you'll see at some stage in Flex Friday within Discord. But with my Vita, I had it, and I remember getting it early and putting it in my bag and scratching it early doors. And I was really, really annoyed with my Vita. So this is where the sob story starts, okay? I remember taking it into work, putting it on my desk while I was in the very early days of learning development, and everyone coming over and going, oh, what's that? And, you were the big guy on campus, you had a Vita. They're relatively expensive back in the day, especially for someone of my age. And I was so proud to have it. And I remember taking it away on a holiday, and I only had a handful of games. I had Uncharted, I had Little Big Planet, I had Street Fighter X Tekken for my sins as well on the Vita. All hold fond memories, although Street Fighter X Tekken was an absolute terrible game, and it was terrible on the Vita as well. And I remember taking it away on a holiday. I think it was a driving holiday. We were driving through France, and we happened to stop. And we were loading up the car, and unfortunately, one of the passengers, not a family member, just a friend, left their car unlocked. And some scrubs saw my bag and nicked it. So unfortunately, my Vita, along with all my games, got stolen quite early on into me owning a Vita. And then I was really, really bitter about that. I really didn't want to just immediately run out and then buy a new Vita because they were still expensive at the time. And it kind of ruined a generation for me. Now, I don't know if you guys have ever had that, something that's immediately stopped you from enjoying something that ultimately you really should enjoy. But something like that really hit me hard at the time because, as I said, it was a big investment in terms of the money that it sort of cost at the time, especially because I didn't really have a great job at the time either. And then to lose it, it really sours that device for me, which is now, since Davey, you bought it for past Christmas, really recently actually, it's reinvigorated my love for the Vita and my energy for the Vita. So I'm getting to experience it all over again, which is amazing. Obviously, it's a different time and a different place now in 2026 where controls can seem a little off compared to the modern standards, but it's still something that very much excites me. So I have this young kind of open-eyed enthusiasm for the PS Vita, which I'm very keen to experience as many games now as I possibly can on it. But back in the day, it was taken from me and stolen from me in the most horrible of ways, which completely wasn't my fault. And I was so annoyed at the time. But I think now I've healed and I'm able to talk about it without anger to those absolute fucking bastards that stole my bag back in the day in France. So there's my sad story.
Bastard French, mate. Bastard French.
I don't think they were actually French, though. I think they were immigrants, actually, that ended up in Sicily, because there's a little bit more to this story. So my bag had a tablet in there as well. It was one of the very early Google tablets, and it had almost like Find Your Phone on it. And I remember tracking it to Sicily, actually. So I don't know if they were just holiday makers, saw the opportunity to take a bag and take it home, or they were immigrants traveling around Europe at that time. But it was very sad. I lost a fair amount. I lost a tablet as well as my Vita, which I was very, very sad about. And I think actually a sat-nav as well. It's quite a lot back in the day.
Jesus.
Bad times.
Those damn Italians, bro. Coming in and stealing it. So not only are they creating some incredible dairy dishes, which I can't enjoy, they're also nicking your bags, bro. And for all they know, they could have given Spence's sinusitis.
Yeah, exactly. It's all related somewhere, isn't it?
It is. It all comes back to those bloody Italians.
But there is a positive to my story because I was at a very low, and now we've been reinvigorated by having a Vita from yourself, Davey. So I've still got that kind of enthusiasm now, which I'm going to try and work through as many games as I can over on the Vita. But I have experienced it now in 2026, as opposed to when I should have been experiencing it all those years ago. But I've not missed out. I've got it now. Quick news. So guys, as Davey wrote the doc, and I said earlier, I preluded that there was going to be some sadness. And there is some sadness here. Because what we're talking about is the retailer game. And this has been a long time coming for customers of game, because ultimately customers of game probably don't buy games in game. Slightly ironic. Generally, they're relatively overpriced, and the kind of second-hand market within the UK has been largely owned these days by CEX or SEX. You can go there, and generally the pricing a shop like that is a little bit cheaper. It's got a lot more expensive recently, but it has been sort of to Game's detriment. And Game has now found itself entering administration, owing a whopping 16 million, apparently, says the article from Eurogamer, thanks to fierce competition, consumer trends, and uncertainty associated with Brexit, which the final bit I'm a little confused about. But consumer trends, I suppose it's the switch to digital, but it is a quick turnaround for them to owe all that money straight away, because physical is very much still a thing. We're not at the next generation of video games where everything is digital and you can't purchase discs anymore. They can still sell discs, and all the modern consoles still take discs. So I'm not sure if that is entirely true, but unfortunately it looks like we've seen the last of Game. And I think it was only maybe a couple of episodes ago, or maybe even got cut from the doc, we were talking about Game, and they were saying that actually the game sales only equals sort of 10%, I think, of their profit share when they were looking at all the different things that they sell in Game, because the large amount of stuff that they do sell in Game and they make money from is usually down to merchandise, down to t-shirts, down to pops, for example, down to things that me and Davey love to put on our shelves. You know, Game is a retailer that sells a lot of that kind of adult crap that we all love to buy, right? That they are outside Forbidden Planet, they are the other place you would probably look on the high street for that type of stuff. So I think a lot of their profits have come from that. And they were saying that actually Game sales would only equal around 10% of their overall. And I always find that a strange claim, because if I was to lose 10% of my wage, I'd be outraged, but they didn't seem that outraged at the time. But it all seems like it's bad news bears for Game, so it doesn't look like we'll be seeing much more of them in the future, unfortunately, guys. But as I said earlier, I don't really shop at Game anymore. It seems to be just a place where you'd maybe go in there and pick up a pop or two for John and Jodie when it's their birthday. But that is the story that I'm sharing with you. Davey, I want to come over to you, to you first. Is Game leaving the high streets and moving into administration something that's on your radar, or is it something that you even care about? Is it relevant to you these days?
Well, it's been on the radar for a long time. We've been talking for ages on this podcast about how Game's gone, right? Like it's been gone for ages. Realistically, its writing's been on the wall for a long time. And we've joked loads of times, as soon as you go into Sports Direct, it's fucking bad news bears, it's game over. This was inevitable for Game because they fucked over us as players, right? Like, it was the place to go. It was the place to pre-order your game. But then all of a sudden, when they're competing with Shop2, Game Collection, even Amazon, and they're priced at 60 quid for each game all the time, and the competition's pricing them at 53, what are you going to do? You know, like, what are you going to do? And it wasn't like as if they had like amazing customer service there where the people would know about games and they'd be really knowledgeable. They knew way fucking less than we did. And they didn't have a fucking clue. And it's not like as if you go in there and play the games like, you know, when I last visited Game for real, for something I actually went to, they had, I think it was about 2 months before the games came out, they had a double show in for like one day of Bloodborne and the Order 1886, and you could play them in store, and you could put your pre-order down right there and then. And guess what? It was fucking full, and everyone was queuing for Bloodborne. And I was like, "What the fuck is Bloodborne? I'm here for the Order 1886," which I was.
I'm here to get some pops.
And I was like, "Oh, the Bloodborne. This is fucking hard. This. I don't know if this is for me." I remember getting smoked. Right, I'd never played a Souls game before. And but it was there that I played it, and I was like, yeah, do you know what? I am going to put a pre-order in for this, and I will. I think I'll skip Order 1886. Actually, I'll go for Bloodborne. And it was those kind of things that created experiences that made you go to the store and buy stuff and look around. They don't do any of that shit anymore. They didn't do any more of like I think they had like a section which was called like it was like a gaming section where they had like all PCs and shit, and you could like
they had
sit down.
LAN kind of era, didn't they?
They had reasons to go in, right? Like, you think about it, there's fighting games all the time. Like, why not have that kind of space and have tournaments and like make it a big deal, right? And have it as a mecca to go to. They had loads of opportunities to try stuff on the high street to bring people in, and they never really fucking did. And all the games that were in there were overpriced, and it was fucking bullshit. The secondhand market was crazy. Like, I remember going in there even back in the youth, and I'd complete a game like Dark Sector in a day, want to send it back, and then they're like, oh yeah, we'll give you 25 quid for this. And I'm like, it came out like today. Come on, man. Like, what the fuck? So they fucked over people, and people left, and they found different alternatives. And I don't feel sorry for them at all, because it's just complete and utter mismanagement as far as I'm concerned. They had every opportunity imaginable and they fucked it. It's just bad business and they shouldn't be in business. So fuck them.
Well, Spence, how do you feel about that? Obviously, you represent generally the younger portion of this show, don't you? Because you are a slightly younger than Dave and myself. Is game something that's ever been relevant to you back in the day?
Oh, I mean, yeah, absolutely. It was definitely. I remember back when I was a wee nip, little boy. Game and Game Station were in town. You had both of them, and Game Station was always my favorite. Always, because Game Station was good. It was just a good shop, and then Game Station shut down, and it was just all game. And you'd still go there. Obviously, it was back then. It was good. I remember when there was always a console near the front door. With games that weren't released yet. You could play like the Bloodborne and the Order, like Davey said, but it was just always there. And it'd be like a selection of games you could do a little demo on. And it was awesome. Loved it. And I'd always be like, Mum, can we go in game? I want to see the games. Then I'd just be there for like half hour. And she'd be like, come on, Spence. I'm like, no, I'll stay here. She's like, you can't. I'm like, oh, Mum. But, eventually that went away. The last time I was in game, a proper game, and the last thing I ever bought from game was Elden Ring. I remember that, and that was because I ordered it. It didn't come, so I thought, fuck it. I just went and bought another copy in game because I wasn't waiting for it. And then when my other copy arrived, I just took that to game and got a refund. Class. Love that. And they were just like, oh yeah, it's still sealed. I was like, yeah, it's still sealed. It's definitely not a different copy of the game. But, same scan code on it, so it's fine. But then it was in Sports Direct, obviously, and now it's literally all they sell is Funko Pops and Lego, and there's a few games. And I remember, like you said, Davey, I beat X-Men Origins Wolverine on the PS3 the day I bought it. And the next day, I took it back. It was just released, by the way, so it was 40 quid at the time, because that's how much games were. They gave me £2.
Fucking hell.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
£2. I did also take in a ton of PS2 games, so I think they logged it as PS2. But even then, £2 for a game that had been out for a day is insane.
Criminal,
it should have
mate.
just been. If it's under 7 days, you should just get a refund. I can't believe that. But yeah, absolute criminal behavior. It's scummy. The only thing, and this is probably true since they've been in Sports Direct, but I've not had a reason to do it anyway. The only sad thing about game going, no more midnight releases. We won't get a midnight launch for the PS6.
Yeah, true.
Because no one will do it. So we're going to have to order it. Whereas I remember when the PS5 came out, me and Davey were messaging each other all night. Like, bro, how far in the queue are you? Is it busy there? We're like, no, it's fine. And then we're like, bro, I've got it. Heading home, racing home. And we played Astro Bot, like, just in a party together until like 4 a.m.
The cool thing would be, though, now is that for people, there are still independent game shops out there. Like, there still are. I think there's one not that far away from me, actually. Yeah, I don't think it's that far at all. I can't remember what the town's called now, but it's where I go for my dentist. It would be things like that to see, like, are they doing anything for it, right? Like these little businesses, if you've got any of those local to you, because there are loads of them, audience, those would be the ones to keep sweet, right? Because if they do manage to get some stock in, you manage to get pre-order there, you can still have that experience. But you're right, Spence, it's going to be fucking rare to be able to get that these days, isn't it?
Yeah, then it's just if they do it, man. Because now, imagine a situation, the PS6 launches, we've all pre-ordered, obviously, because we're all going to, and like Phil got Tokon 3 days late. Imagine Phil's got his PS6 and we're waiting for ours for days.
Fucking suck. Would
Bro.
suck, dude.
And just, if it was me that had one, I'd be like, oh, boys, look at this. Check this out, lads. Do you want a video call and I'll just set my phone up, you can watch?
Yeah.
I
would as well.
Yeah, you'd be like, yes, please. Can I come over?
I would come over, yeah.
Yeah, and that's just what would happen. And that'd be quite nice, to be fair, to pop around. But you want your own. And if it's a case of shipping delays now, because there isn't any where to pick it up on day one or midnight releases, that's just That's the sad thing, I think. When they announced they were doing midnight release for PS5, I remember DMing them to ask. And when they said, yeah, I was like, no way, really? They were like, yeah, of course. I was like, oh my God. So that's gone. Or for me, that's gone. I don't really have any local game shops near me, I don't think. But I'll make the trip to freaking Cumbrain.
Yeah, I'll share the details with you. I don't know what they've done. I haven't actually ever gone in there because they're always closed. They're open.
That's a good sign.
They're open.
Brilliant.
Like they're still in business, but they're just closed every time I go to the dentist. I don't know if it's just the day that I book the dentist. Maybe they shut. I don't know, but
I doubt they're doing a midnight fucking release then. Mate.
I doubt it very much. Yeah, he wants to get his early night, mate.
Blooming out. Yeah, early night finishing at 3 p.m. Class. Yeah, a game, I'm not sad about game going because game's been gone. Been gone for years. Midnight releases, I am really upset about because I went for PS5, I went for the Switch, I went for, whatever else when I was a kid. That is an experience that I always loved. So it's really sad that that's going to be gone.
There is an independent game store in Kingswood where I used to live, actually. It's called Game Sense. Okay. And it's very much a mom and pop video game store, and it's really kind of just a bunch of shit everywhere, right? It kind of reminds me of my bedroom back in the day. Davey, remember when you used to come around to play Street Fighter? It's just like posters everywhere. It's very much along the same lines as that. So I've always enjoyed going there. And much like you, when you go to the dentist, I used to go there when I used to get my hair cut, just to ponder and scroll through a few games. I remember buying some kind of old PS2 games, 3 games back in the day, because they're very, very cheap, or they were at least before this whole move to digital from Sony. But that one I'd imagine would do a midnight launch. But I actually got it on Amazon. I had no issue getting on Amazon. I was just very, very lucky at the time. But yeah, definitely support your local stores. But game sort of leaving, I think the only one that would probably impact me, and Davey, you brought it up, was that competitive scene that game started to try and build, wasn't it? And I remember going down to the Trocadero in London, which was legendary for fighting games at a certain period. And this is where a lot of the big names would congregate down in London. And there was a game in the Trocadero, and they used to have sort of fighting game tournaments very often hosted there. So that was a big loss. I know when that closed down, a lot of people were very sad at the time. But for me personally, game is dead, and it's been dead for a very, very long time. And I think the last time I actually went there for a meaningful reason was to buy, I think it was Street Fighter, some sort of anniversary edition. I pre-ordered it. I was very, very excited because I think it may have had Third Strike included, and it was on PS4. And I thought, oh, brilliant. This is how I could play a little bit of Third Strike, because I love that game, right? And I remember going along, super excited, expecting queues. I don't know why. I walked in, there's obviously no queues. And I said to the lady, I pre-ordered this game. And she went, what game? She didn't even know. So that links back to the experts that they do employ or did employ a game. And maybe that was part of the reason. Like, you don't expect them to know everything. But I think it was always one of those things that maybe back in the day I would fantasize about actually working there. Imagine working in game and actually having some semblance of understanding of games and and maybe pushing people towards, hey, have you played the game that kind of we mentioned? Have you played Metal Gear? Maybe that's an option, right? And actually pushing people towards good games as opposed to why don't you just buy FIFA or Fortnite or and how the industry has changed. Well, yeah, don't really care. Anyway, move on. We're going to move it over, I think, back round to you, Davey.
So over to me for my second fact. And this fact, we're keeping it on the depressing side, right, on this. I feel like this is the depressing one. I think next time I might do it, I might bump it up a bit. But this actually isn't depressing. This is more just a thing that I thought for a while. So there was a period of time a few years back where I thought I was going bald, right? You guys might remember this. I played around with hairstyles quite a bit at that period of time. And what it was that I've always had this cow's lick at the front, right? Like always, ever since I've been a kid, right? Always the same. And where I don't know where I was working or something like that, but the light was shining out in a particular way. I was like, God damn, I'm thin in there. And I went to the barber and I was like, am I thinning? And they were like, no, you got like a super thick head of hair. You're not thinning at all. And I just didn't believe them. And I was like, right, chop it down. I want to see, like, this is going to be inevitable. You know, I'm marking on the calendar where I'm going to need to get the full body Kratos tattoo and get on the trend. Shave it all down. And shaved it all down. And I went to like a really, I don't know what I went to, like a 3 or something like that. And grew it back out. And again, I was thinking, oh no, this is fucked, it's gone. And so I thought, right, before I lose it, I'm just going to grow it super long. And so I went back for the slick back and all that. Turns out, no, wasn't going bald at all. I was just super self-conscious for no fucking reason and decided to shave it all off. And as soon as it grew back, I just felt like a right cunt. So I just thought I'd share with you guys that maybe if you're going bald, maybe try shaving it off. And if it grows back, you're absolutely A-okay. So the bright side of the story is, shave it off. Don't be afraid of the shave. Brave the shave, baby. That's what I'm saying here. That's what I'm sharing.
I think you'd be probably one of the ones out of all of us, no offense, Spence, that probably would look good bald.
Do you reckon?
I think you could pull it. Out of all three of us here, I think you could pull it off. I think you'd probably look the best because, you know, when you go to the gym, usually the bigger guys, because they've been on so much tren, they've lost all their hair anyway.
That's true.
Because of the pills they're taking,
Yeah.
right? So people would then just assume you are on the tren and wouldn't have to ask you because you have been asked in the past, haven't you?
Every now and again, it's like the best thing ever. I wish I got asked it more, which is the annoying thing. People don't bring it up enough. But never mind. Yes, I think it would be.
That's all right. You owe me a £5. I'll put it on Splitwise.
Thanks, buddy. Cheers.
Yeah.
Can you make sure you at least make one reference, like just when we're at a bar or something, come up, be like, "Excuse me, mate, you're looking pretty big in that t-shirt. You on the trend?" And then ask the person next, "Do you reckon he's on? Do you reckon he's on something?" That I'd give you a 5 for.
Fine, sure.
There
Yeah,
you
next time we're at the bar. Next time we're in the cross, I'll bring it up.
Yeah, go on. So more good news is that God of War Laufey has had its release date confirmed for February 16th, 2027. So it's only around the corner, boys. Great window as far as I'm concerned, and a fantastic date for me personally because it's my birthday. Hey! So it's coming out on my actual
I
birthday.
wonder what we're getting you for your birthday.
I wonder.
Not this, Spence. Not this.
No.
Now, the cool thing is there's been extra news which has come out on the back of this, which came out from Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, which happened very recently, in that Corey Balrog has been interviewed and said that there's going to be a follow-up game to this one, which could be a Kratos-centric story. So it means that, don't worry for those of you that worry about playing as a girl. I don't want to play as Kratos' wife, even though she busted and matches Thor, canonically, in Ragnarok. You can then play a Kratos game, which is going to tie in with this. So that's really cool, interesting stuff as well. Obviously, that's probably ages away yet. Don't be counting down on that one. But a nice little double whammy for God of War news. How does this tickle your fancy? Spence, going to come over to you first.
Mate, it tickles my fancy very well. Unfortunately, you know, it means I'm not going to see you on your birthday. It's just the way it is. Well, I think we'll all be busy. But yeah, mate, fantastic release date. Literally right around the corner. It feels like far away. But really, when you think about how this year has flown by, it's going to hit us so quick. And I am super excited for God of War Laufey. I think it's going to be fantastic. Really excited. Fantastic date. Very happy for you, mate, for your birthday. Obviously, Karen's going to want to get it for you too, though, so we're going to have words, I think. But Who knows? Who knows? But then, obviously, off the back of it, all the other news as well. Mate, it's a good time. It's a good time. It's a shame. It's obviously nothing to do with this, but being on Twitter, Jesus Christ, reading through the comments of all this is just tough. Because none of it is even about the actual news. But very excited, mate. Very excited for all of this.
What about yourself, Mr. Hoy? Are you following on that wave of excitement?
Yeah, of course, definitely. And I've been on this train for a very, very long time now with God of War. I've gone for a little bit of a dip at the start when we first started playing God of War back on the PS3 and PS2 days. And now I'm at the top of the mountain because I'm a God of War fan these days. So I've very much been picking up God of War Laufey day one along with yourself, and I'm very interested to see what they do with this because the combat seems so different and so fast paced compared to God of War, and it's very interesting that they've kind of set it in a place, I believe it's called Everywhere, where it allows multiple mythologies to be all combined into one place. So it kind of eliminates the problem that I see, or the hurdle that I see with God of War, the games that I've been playing most recently, because he's very much locked in to the single mythology. But a little bit of news on the next Kratos-led God of War. I assume then it gives him the potential of going up and following up on the Laufey story into Everywhere, and then he gets to experience a lot more as well, and they can broaden the story. And I like that the rumors are coming around this next game, that they are going to be linked. They're going to be integral to the story, and it's going to be a continuation with the next God of War game. So if you don't play the Laufey game and you get your head filled with all the bullshit that you're seeing over on Twitter, and you're like, I'm not playing this, I don't want to play this game, Sony's turning everyone into a girl, and you miss that game out and you wait for God of War, then you're going to miss out on a fundamental part of the story. But you guys are idiots. You need to be playing this game day one with us, because we're going to be talking about it a lot in the future, aren't we? As soon as this one comes out, I think it's day one for all of us. So yes, very much excited about this one and the continuation of God of War and where that story takes us.
Hell yeah, my mate. February 16th can come soon enough. I mean, I'll be 38, right? It's getting up there then at that point. But I'll have something to look forward to, as well as with the passing of time and the inevitable death that will eventually follow. I'll at least experience God of War Laufey. Hopefully, if I make it there. There you go, boys. A little bit of positivity on that. So, Spence, over to you for your fact and your news.
Sure, okay, mate. So, you know what? Yeah, let's keep it grim. Bit of doom and gloom. We love that. So, on the back of my... This is going to lead on to something else as well. It's only going to be short, though, because quick news after all. So, on the back of my sinusitis, obviously, at first, I went to the doctors, and they said, have you had your eyes checked? And I thought, of course not. I got perfect vision. Why would I do that? My vision's great. And they said, well, you might be getting headaches from your vision. And I was like, I hope not. So I went for an eye test. Turns out, headaches were nothing to do with my vision, as I correctly guessed. Incorrectly guessed, I needed glasses. What a fucking shame. So I walked out that day finding out my eyesight isn't 20/20 like I thought it was. And I'll tell you what, when I was in Spoons after, and I was looking at the TV, which was quite far away with the subtitles on, I was like, oh, I can read them now. I was like, fuck me. And I could read them before, but they were just very slightly blurry. It's a tiny prescription. My eyesight is fantastic, but it's just not perfect, which I'm upset about. And I thought I'd use this just to add on to like a few years ago, and I'm sure I've told this on the podcast before anyway, I was once temporarily blind in one eye, and it was only for like a week.
Too much wanking, bro. They said you go blind. I never believed
it. They see
it.
you grow hair, mate. They see you grow hair, become a werewolf now. That's what the church said. But only for a week I was temporarily blind in one eye. Afterwards, my eye was still infected and swollen to fuck, and it was because I was feeding my owl Kevin, a baby chick. So we had dead baby chicks, which it eats, and we had to warm them up in a bowl, you know, and then take it out. And I opened the plastic bag it was in, and its blood squirted into my eye.
Oh fuck, man!
I remember this story.
Remember
this was a story where you told us, and we had to guess, was it real or not real?
Yes,
because it sounds so outrageous. And I remember feeling that the most outrageous part of this story was that you own like an owl or something, right?
Yeah.
Because nutters, absolute nutters own like falcons and owls and things, right? That is a huge red flag, right?
Mecca.
If you go out in the back garden and your mate's got like 8 falcons in the back garden.
yeah, he's killed something.
Probably bid him.
Yeah.
Move on.
To be fair, we had 9 at one point, 9 owls.
Christ.
9 owls.
Because my dad bought Kevin. Kevin was a woman, by the way, or female owl, not a woman, but a female owl, and wanted to get her a mate. So he found another little owl, a male one.
Just go around with nets at night into trees.
Yeah, where did you find owls?
He was.
Did you get from the RSPCA?
No, he was working.
You walk past a beagle, you know, and a dachshund, and then you're like, I'll have the owl.
Yeah, I'll have
mate, it's cool, mate.
That
Spence, if you want another owl. Yes, Mum. I need 9.
Mate, actually, literally, the day before, like 2 days before, I said about how much I wanted a dog. And then I came home the one day and there was a cardboard box.
These are the dogs of the sky.
These are flying dogs.
There was a cardboard box in the living room, and she went, Spence, remember how you said you wanted a dog? Look in the box. And I was like, oh my God, no way. Open the box. There's a fucking little owl looking at me terrified.
Oh,
it was looking at me like freaking shitting itself. And that's how it always looked at me, by the way. It was nice sometimes. It'd like sit on my finger and I'd pet it and stuff, but a lot of the time it would just bite you. She was a bastard. But yeah, we had 9 because they bred, and then we had to release them. It was fully. You're not supposed to own little owls. It was fully like illegal, I think.
Oh,
But,
wow.
we don't have them anymore, so it's fine. I assume, and they were never technically mine. I'm not in trouble.
Did you or your parents ever try owl eggs?
What, eat them?
Yeah, like on toast or whatever. Because I know that's fully
No.
illegal. So like,
Spencer, you're not eating your owl eggs.
but if you, yeah.
What's
You
wrong?
haven't had your owl omelette today, Spence. There must be something wrong.
Not hungry today, man. God, looking at it just sad.
Yeah, yeah.
No, mate. No,
No,
never.
no,
But
never.
yeah, so chick blood squirted in my eye, and I was temporarily blind for a week. And I remember I went to a Smash tournament that month when my eye was still fucked. And as I walked in, Alan, for Afro Smash, went, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Oh, mate, oh my god!" I was like, "Why would you say
I
that?"
imagine you got like the concealer on it. You're like, yeah, this helps to
Yeah.
make it look better.
You would have thought something like that would be almost like a comic book arc, like this is your origin story
Owl
of how you
man.
become Owl Boy.
Oh boy,
Mate.
doesn't even get man, gets boy.
Yeah.
He's a sidekick.
You need to be squirted in both eyes to
Yeah.
become the man.
Yeah, the owl
That's
man.
true. Maybe that's why I need glasses now. Maybe it fucked me. Who knows? But yeah, so I was
Special
blind for a
owl
bit.
powers.
Hell
You,
yeah.
you good at seeing in the dark, Spence, or hunting for voles or anything like that?
I'm good at seeing in
Or
the
could you
dark if I've
twist your
been in the
head?
dark.
Yeah, try it.
Away.
Twist your head round. Oh, can you imagine you did it?
You could go further than I can.
Yeah.
Like, my neck cracks every time I move it. There's no way. But yeah, that's my little story. So I didn't need glasses. No, they didn't cause my headaches, but I did need glasses. Fuck me. And I was temporarily blind for a bit. Quick news. So I'll say it once again, guys, gals, non-binary pals. Once again, I am bringing you the PlayStation Plus monthly games, this time for the month of August. And these are the essential games. So this is what we are getting. These are already out, by the way, because I've already got one of them installed, which I think we should play, but we obviously won't because Tokon's out. But they are as follows, and they're all available from August 4th until August 31st. So get them while you can. We have Dying Light 2 Stay Human Reloaded Edition for the PS5 and PS4. We also have Big Walk by House on the PS5. And we have Signalis for the PS4. This also, if we want to talk about it, because we can, it's also a Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls PlayStation Plus pack on here. But we'll leave that. We'll leave that. We'll save you guys for till next time. But so these 3 games, Dying Light, Big Walk, Signalis. I feel like who do I always come to for this? I feel like it's Davey, but maybe it isn't. It's Phil. Okay, well, Davey, I'll come to you. What do you think of these games? Are you excited? You're going to play them? How do you feel?
It's a stellar month. It's an absolutely fantastic month. Dare I say it? Probably outside of the month where we got Stray included. That wasn't essential, actually. That was in the extra. This might actually be the best single month we've ever had, I think, on Essential, because we get Big Walk, which is supposed to be absolutely fucking incredible, like absolutely like Jenny good. We get that. Obviously the worst time for us because we're all playing Tokon, but otherwise this would be fucking installed and being played right now. We get Signalis. Now Signalis is a fucking criminal black mark for me because I actually own this game. I bought it day one, played the opening, and never played any more. I don't know what came out that took me away from it, and I didn't get to it. I was going to review it for my YouTube at the time and never did. It's supposed to be fucking amazing. And people that are hardcore in survival horror and play like a lot of the kind of like indie darlings in survival horror, like Tormented Souls and everything else, Signalis is one of the best from everyone I've ever seen review this game. It's supposed to be amazing. Let alone Dying Light. We had a great time on Dying Light. Dying Light 2, fucking fantastic again. It's just a damn shame that we're very busy at the moment with Tokon, because this month would be the month for Thursday night games. Like, they're fucking fantastic, and a fucking worldy survival horror indie game in there as well. What more is there to love? 10 out of 10 months, as far as I'm concerned, Spence.
Wow, I didn't expect a 10 out of 10 for Message to Davey. All right, Phil, mate, how do you feel about this?
Well, I've got to echo literally everything Davey is saying, because my notes are, pretty damn positive with this monthly games for August. Dying Light 2 Stay Human Reloaded Edition. So this is Dying Light 2 that came out in 2022. Which is the action role playing survival horror game. And we love this game. We played it quite a lot. And this is the second iteration of this game. It scored a massive 76% on Metacritic. So quite a middling game, actually. But I think it was very enjoyable because of the co-op aspects that we were able to enjoy quite a few moons ago. And I would be very keen, as you said, if we weren't playing Tokon, to dive into this one. Because I think it would be just more dumb fun of us running around the city, just killing zombies. And, like, who doesn't enjoy that? God, are we gay? No, sir, we're not. We like killing zombies, and you can very much do that in Dying Light 2. Big Walk, Davey, that is the highlight of the bunch. As you said, this is a massive 92% over on Metacritic. This is a 2026, brand new actually, cooperative adventure video game. Players go on a walk through an open world bushland area and solve puzzles and communicate in many different methods. And it seems really interesting. Love the art style with this one. I think this one would be definitely the one that I would push to before we dived into Dying Light. And I would love a Thursday night if we do have some time away from Tokon. Signalis, as Davey said, it is a legendary survival horror game. Again, came out in 2022, the same as Dying Light. The player controls an android in this one, and she aims to solve supernatural mysteries after waking up in a hostile mining facility. So it's a perfect setting, actually, for a survival horror game, and that's got a massive 81% over Metacritic. So they're all relatively high scores outside Dying Light, but I think that one probably gets a little of a bump because it is a co-op zombie shooter game, and it's a hell of a lot of fun. At least the first one was. So I'm the same as Davey. Like, if we had the time, I'd love to play all of these.
Tell you what, boys, I'm right there with you. I think this is a fantastic month, especially because we get 5 avatars inspired by characters from Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, featuring Captain America, Storm, Spider-Man, Doctor Doom, and Ghost Rider, and a set of in-game result screen character poses featuring 20 characters, including Spider-Man, Miss Marvel, Star, Penny Parker, and more. Fucking hell, what a time to be alive, boys. But the games. Honestly, I could give a fuck about Dying Light 2. I don't want to play it. But I would, because we did have a fun time with Dying Light 1. I didn't enjoy it as much as you boys did. But I enjoyed playing a game with you boys, not the game itself. So I would dive into Dying Light 2 if you boys really wanted to, but it's not for me. What I would much rather dive into with you boys, and I think we'd have a stellar time, would be Big Walk by House House. This is already installed on my PS5. I am very keen. I'm not going to play it without you boys. I very much have in my head, this is something us three play together. This is going to be a lot of fun. And I am very keen for the day we eventually do play it, even if that's in 2031, because it's not any time fucking soon. I'll tell you that right now. But who knows? Maybe we'll get burnt out of Tokon. We're not going to get burnt out of Tokon. Who knows? But again, as well, Signalis. My friend Kyle, who I've spoken about before, I think I spoke about him getting the platinum on the game that can't be mentioned, Village. Almost said it then. So he loves Signalis, and he's a survival horror fan. And like you said, Davey, I've heard so much praise for Signalis, and I've never played it, and I know I should. So I'm very happy to see this. And other than Dying Light 2, this very well might be the best month we have ever had. It is really, really fucking good. I mean, Marvel Tokon PlayStation Plus pack, bro. Come on. I think it's great. I'm not going to give it a 10 like you boys, but I'll give it a strong 9, just because Dying Light isn't for me.
Fair enough.
But there is something there for literally everyone, and I think that is the best month you could possibly ask for. Fan-fucking-tastic. So listeners, get on these games. You only have until August 31st. And I know you're thinking, oh, that's ages away. It will fly by. So even if you're not going to play them soon, just add them to your library. Otherwise, you're doing yourself a disservice. But that is it for me. So moving round, Phil, give us a little bit about yourself, mate.
Another little bit about myself. And considering we talked broadly about something that's terrible, that's really affected our lives, and I've been trying to move I suppose my story is more towards PlayStation and negative things that have happened with PlayStation. I don't want to go again about moaning about PS6 and discs, but I do want to moan about discs. So I want to take you all the way back to PS1 days, okay? So I was a child and had a PS1 back in those days, and I had many physical, real games back in the day. And I know it was very easy to pirate games because my father found how to pirate games via just buying a CD writer, okay? And then we would go to the local CD shop, the local like Blockbuster or, rental shop, rent games, copy those games. And then my collection literally was every game that was on that shelf because we did it repeatedly. And I can admit that now because, well, come and get us. It's been a very long time. And I've got rid of all those copied games because they were like it was just weird to own them, There's no kind of we talk about ownership and games preservation, don't we, a lot now with this introduction of moving towards a digital future, but not having the original game kind of irks me, right? If you've got a copy of Crash Bandicoot or Gran Turismo or Metal Gear Solid or any of the classic games from back in the day, it doesn't feel the same to own those games. So there was a period in my time where I literally took the whole collection of PS1 games that I had, literally all copies games, and it took up considerable space in my house, and I binned them. I binned them all. So I started then collecting PS1 games from zero because my father, in all his wisdom, thought because we've got the copy games, we can sell the original games. So he sold all our original PS1 games from back in the day. So I had like Tekken 3 and Metal Gear Solid and the game that can be mentioned, etc., all original games. Bought them from, Electronics Boutique or Virgin Megastore back in the day, and very fond memories attached to those. And I remember my dad had a shop in our local village, and he sold a lot of our games, unfortunately. Me and my brother, I don't think we had much of a say, but my father thought because we had a copied version, that was good enough and we could play those. And it was great at the time as a kid because we didn't really form that relationship with gaming that maybe I do now in my 40s, still have that like affinity with having the sort of physical game. And I've moaned about that a hell of a lot. But that is my sort of sad story really of PS1, that I'm kind of at zero, not at zero, exactly at zero, because I've bought quite a few recently, and I know Spence, you've bought me a few over the years. I think Davey maybe one or two, but Spence, you seem to buy me some at Christmas and birthdays and things like that in the past, and it's filling out my collection slowly. But my collection of PS1 games is the smallest out of all my collections of PlayStation games, even though back in the day I had a lot more, and at a period in time I had literally every game that was in the video shop.
Oh, I tell you what, boys, we gotta next time. I know we're doing this off the dome, right? And we're British, so we're naturally pessimistic. We're naturally a little bit depressive, right? Next time, let's try and bring some happy facts in. I reckon. I don't know how you feel about that, King, or do you quite like the sad things? I know there's character building in it.
There is character building, yeah, and you've got to go through the shit to find the treasure, don't you? This is what turns you into the man you become.
Very true.
Or blinds you sometimes.
Yeah. With the chicken blood.
Stops you eating cheese.
Yeah.
Or, stops you playing Vita. Really. Yeah, maybe some good stuff next time.
Next time.
Yeah, we got 2 weeks to think about it, right?
Well, we got 10 episodes, right? So I think every episode we should just get a little bit better. And then like the 10th episode, we could do some really amazing things that happen to us. All right. Try and go a little bit better than terrible negative things that have happened to your health and my PlayStation life.
Yeah. All right. It's a challenge.
Anyway, quick news. Moving on. And this is actually a news story which we talked about in the past a little bit. We were talking about Warhammer 40,000 coming to Helldivers. And we've got a date for this now, and it was the 12th of August that's coming out. So it's very, very soon, literally in a couple of days. And we are now, we actually now know what we're getting. And we had a lot of kind of discussion, either on the last episode or the episode before, and we were thinking, what are we going to get? Are we going to get Necrons? Are we going to get Space Marines? If it's Space Marines, what sort of flavor of Space Marines are we going to get? But I think it was pretty obvious that actually we were going to get the Imperial Guard, or as they're known now, Astral Militarum. I think that's how you pronounce it. They've changed all the bloody names of Warhammer races and factions now, but they're in the Imperial Guard of anyone of a certain age and vintage that used to play Warhammer 40,000 back in the day. But it makes a lot more sense to the game because they are the human-based race. They're a lot smaller than Space Marines, and their weapons are far weaker, but they have big-ass tanks within the game. But they have like a smorgasbord of weaponry, and Helldivers is very much taking advantage of the optionality that you have here with the Imperial Guard soldiers, because they're much like the Helldiver soldiers. They get thrown into situations with impossible odds, so it makes complete sense that they're being put into these horrific battles now against all these terrible factions and evils that are within the Helldivers world. So they come out August 12th. And I know it's exactly the same as everything we've been talking about tonight, because most of what's happening at PlayStation now is going to be a bit of a black hole for us. It's going to be a bit of a blank because we're going to be so busy with Tokon. Unfortunately, we're going to miss a lot of this good stuff, because I really want to go back to Helldivers. I think it's one of those games, much like Marathon and probably Tokon at a certain period, where we're going to move past and we'll have our new cool. But these are games that hold a lot of value for us, and we very much enjoyed Helldivers in the past. We very much enjoyed Marathon, but it's very hard to find the time even to hold down one of these sort of multiplayer games as well as sort of a single player game. But Helldivers is a hell of a game, and it's really dragging me back having a Warhammer 40,000 race as well in there. And I feel that if I don't get it now, I probably won't have the opportunity to get it in the future, much like your Hellgas Killzone characters that you bought. They're only available for a short time. I'm not sure on the dates for this one, but I think it would be very sad to miss out on this one. So I might dip in, buy them, and cross my fingers that potentially we play it at some stage, or I'll just watch lots of videos and really just enjoy the videos. So does this one hold any value for you guys? Davey, I know back in the day you sort of fucked around a little bit with 40k back in the day. I think you played Space Marines or something at some stage, or maybe you played at a friend's house. Does this interest you?
I fucked around a lot with 40k back in the day. I had an Imperial Guard army.
Oh, well, this one should interest you more than the rest of us. Actually, I had Imperial Guards. Everyone had jungle fighters.
I had loads. I had quite a big army. I don't know where it is. I think I might give it to my cousin, but I don't know. It might be at my parents' house somewhere. I had loads of tanks. I remember my first tank I got was a Hellhound tank, flamethrower tank. Loved that shit. I had loads of I had like a sniper,
Lehman Russ?
a big metal sniper guy. I don't know why I had
Big metal? Was it the Rattling Snipers?
Not
because
sure.
they were the small guys.
It was
and
a woman
as well.
It was like a woman, if I remember.
Oh,
right.
she was a special character.
Yeah, she was cool. I had a decent sized army. And I would team up with my cousin who ran Space Marines, and so we would kind of go out and join ventures together against like bigger armies, right? At, like Games Workshops and stuff. And it was fun. I loved it, right? I really enjoyed it. Shit at painting, but I enjoyed it nonetheless, right? I'm gutted about this, and I think the internet generally is in agreement with me. I think this is mega underwhelming, this crossover pack. I think it's fucking lost its interest in me off the rip, because even though I've got affinity for Imperial Guard, I want to be a fucking Space Marine. Like, I don't care if it doesn't make sense, right? Like, even if they're smaller, I don't care. It's just being in the Space Marine armor and stuff like that. It would have been cool. But no, it's a fucking guy. And it's like, cool. Great. You might as well just be Johnny fucking Helldiver. It's like, and the armor sets aren't even that different. So I'm like, there's just nothing cool about this. Like, I looked at it, I was like, cool. What a way to fuck it up. It would be like putting in the Chimera and you're like, oh, okay, actually, you're playing as the humans before they get the Chimera infection. But they are Chimera, though. It's like, great. So it's like, it's completely lost me, this. Like, I honestly don't give a fuck. But I am up for reinstalling Helldivers and giving it a go. I think for a night it'd be fun, right? Like, and I'm going to be playing Tokon loads, so I'm up for having the one and done experience of Helldivers and just having fun with it for a night, right? And doing like a super Helldive, seeing what they've added, seeing the changes. I'm up for that, but I'm running it as a Hellgast. I ain't running it as this fucking dickhead. So no, I think this has completely lost me, and I've gone from being super excited to, when I saw it, completely underwhelmed. And even if it makes sense, it doesn't mean it's cool. So it's lost me. Sorry, bro.
Sad times. How about you, Spence? What are you feeling with this one? I'm not sure of your history with Warhammer, but I mean, all of us at some stage, I'm sure, have played this game. You understand what Warhammer 40,000 is, right? Because we played the Space Marine game, didn't we? On PlayStation, because we got that free at a certain period, and that was very, very good. You seemed quite into it at the time. Does this interest you at all, or would you be keen to dive back into us, not as an Imperial Guard, just as Johnny Helldiver, as Davey says?
Well, I'll tell you, not only was I not into the game, because as much as I think me and Davey played it a bit, and he was like, "Oh, when we getting back on?" I was like, "Mate, I'm not really bothered." I very much think even less of actual Warhammer 40k. My only connection to
Don't tell me you had a girlfriend back in the day. Come on.
Oh, I didn't, mate. No, not a chance. I was just doing other lame shit. But the only connection I had,
just nicking owls, bro.
Just laying
just out there
into my owls.
Yeah. I'm just
to
out
me,
there.
my owls.
Yeah, come to me.
that'd be, bro. If they came when I said that, you'd think that's the coolest thing in the world.
Until your arm's completely shredded when you got 9 owls on it, and the gloves
just
only hold
talons.
1 each.
Be
Leads,
lopsided. Or just maybe one sits on your head.
Yeah, purchase that.
4 on each, 1 on the head.
That'd be sick, mate. But yeah, the only connection I have is I had 2 mates. I say mates. One of them was a mate. The other one was just a bit of a dickhead. And they both got into Warhammer 40k. And they invited me over to be like, try and get me into it. And I was looking at them like, what? This looks
I know that
shit.
look. I tried so many times with different people.
Yeah. And
I know
even
that
me, and I was a massive nerd. I was a proper geek as a kid. I mean, I'm a geek now. But as a kid, I was proper into like, nerd shit. And I was like, what the fuck? And they're like, yeah, we paint them. I was like, oh, all right. Yeah, cool. And then I found out how much they were as well. And I was like, fuck no. What? I'm paying all that to fucking get 0 pussy.
To paint
No
them
chance.
myself. To paint them myself? What
I
the
was
fuck?
like, this is lame. So, and then a minute ago, this is the first time I've watched it. I just watched that trailer whilst you boys were chatting. Insanely underwhelming. And Davey, I didn't think you were going to say how shit it looks. So I was going to mention how shit it looks. Fuck me, does it look shit. They literally got the Helldiver, removed all the cool Helldiver paint and armor, and then slapped the Warhammer logo on it and called it a fucking day. The only maybe interesting thing is the new weapons.
Metal gun looks sick.
Yeah, looks cool.
Does it look cool enough, though?
It is
No.
if you played Warhammer. The metal gun's great. Bolt
Nah.
pistols, las guns.
Yeah. But I don't know. That trailer was really shit. And I already don't like Warhammer. So I'm very against this.
You're coming off so cool, Spence.
I'm not. I'm not trying to. It's just not something I enjoy. Because I very much don't. I'm not a cool guy. But this isn't. This is lame, man. And then this just trailer is bad. It's bad. People enjoy what they enjoy. That's fine. I'm not gonna. For me, it's lame. If you love it, you love it. Great for you. I'm happy for you. Not for me, man. And this looks dog shit. I would never. You have to buy this, right? It's not. It's a purchasable freaking battle pass. Not a fucking chance. But like Davey said, if it was a Space Marine, yeah, I'd probably be on board because Space Marines look sick. As much as I'm not a fan of 140k, I can admire how fucking dope the armor is and the weapons and everything. It does look cool. I just didn't like painting them and, oh, here he comes. I'm freaking crazy.
You
Did you do voices for him?
You were playing it wrong.
Ah, that's a stage further. Yeah.
I didn't play it.
He's just
mate.
doing reenactments.
Beep, beep, beep.
I'm trying to picture. I don't know what people did. I don't really
Roll
know.
dice.
Roll dice, bro.
Oh, mate,
And then
you
get
do
your-
that in Monopoly, bro.
And get your little tools out to see how big your explosion radius is and where it is and all that.
Hey, if it's
What?
a crack grenade, you got to measure it.
Yeah, exactly, mate. When you've chucked the Hellhound tank in on a self-destruct mission, basically send it in there to die and explode, you got to measure how big that blast radius is, take out all those goddamn bugs, mate.
Yeah. You froze for good reason, mate. Your camera
yeah.
wanted you to stop.
Yeah, it did.
But yeah, man. To be fair, Phil, if you end up getting it, I'm happy for you. Obviously, you guys enjoy what you enjoy. I'd never knock that. If you want to go back to Helldivers 2, I will join you. I'm not that fussed. For some reason, and I said this ages ago, with Helldivers 1, I always had the craving to go back. Helldivers 2, I have not had a single urge to go back to it at all. And I know it's fantastic. I love Helldivers 2. But I've spent my time in it. And I don't need to go back. I wouldn't mind seeing all the new stuff, though. So I wouldn't mind going back with you boys. I know there's lots.
Much to that game.
But I wouldn't mind going back, but it would very much, unless we had a brilliant time, which I'm sure we will. But that'll just because we're playing together. It'd very much be a one and done thing for me, I think. But I'm up for it. So, let's get it in the calendar, boys.
Let's do it.
I'm not fucking buying this shit. It's crazy.
Fair enough. Well, with that, I think it's time to rank whoever's facts are the best or whoever's we didn't like. I don't know how you want to do this, King. I mean, you can lead this off and set the precedent here. I don't know how we're doing it.
Yeah, the issue is we all followed suit. We made a trend. So we all kind of have similar stories, which is a shame. Well, they're different, but they're all just sad. So we've kind of gamed it a bit where we all lose. But I'm losing my crown. My crown's slipping. I don't know. I don't know what we do. Whose story was the worst? I think your allergies are a bit shit, Davey, I'll be honest, because you're just lactose intolerant, mate. The soy one's a bit sad.
So you're really coming for me with my allergies, bro?
I think, mate, you can't have milk, mate. Oh, what did you do?
It's not just milk. I gave you the full rundown, bro. Gave you the food allergy against colour, dude. And
you don't have that anymore.
No, don't have that anymore. Got everything else, mind. Got everything else.
You're allergic to colour.
Yeah, food colour, not colour. That'd be bad. That'd
Just
be horrific.
allergic to colour in life.
That'd be bad.
That's why everything in your house is black.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I married a goth. It was a bad time.
That goth baddie, man.
Yeah,
Drake's been after her.
That's what I needed. That's why I
Seen that?
Yeah. I kept popping up on my Instagram. All right, I say we put it to a vote, so everyone pick what they've liked the least. I'm going for the fucking allergies.
All right, I'm going to go for Spence's chicken blood story because we've already heard it. So
That's also valid.
Ooh.
I mean, we've heard about your allergies a lot, mate.
It's a good story, but it's a repeat. It's like going back into the classic well, right? And so as much as I enjoy it, and you started off telling us about how you need glasses, it didn't end there because I think you would have known that you were being called out for being shittest. So then you saddled over into bringing up the chicken blood story again, which I do enjoy the chicken blood story, but it's a repeat. It's a repeat.
It gave us a lot of laughs, though, didn't it?
It did, but that was mostly just from talking about the owls, right? Like
I know, but on the back of that, mate, pretty much every story we've told is a repeat.
Yeah, well, to ourselves maybe, but to the audience, no.
No,
So
they've 100% all been told on the show.
Yeah, well, yours definitely has. So,
Yeah.
So that's why it's getting the vote from me. That's why it's getting my vote.
So I got the
That's fair,
deciding vote.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
am
unless you
I
vote
going
for
to go with
yourself.
the popular vote now and then vote you, Davey? Or am I going to vote against the king?
Well, I wonder.
Sorry, Davey, because unfortunately I don't want a shot from Spencer because he'll have 5, I think, now to give out because he
will.
wears the crown of power. So I've always got to be careful now what I do. I don't want to step out of line, do I?
Fair.
Because
Fair.
I know he punishes that Spencer.
He
It
does.
does, mate. It does.
Whip, whip. He'd be
Well.
whipping.
Shock horror. It begins again. It begins again. Well, thank you ever so much. Thank you ever so much, boys. I'll look forward to adding that shot into the doc. And with that, we should move it on to an audience question. There once was a show some time ago that asked 4 questions every fortnight or so. It became so rare they weren't prepared to have a versatile rhyme. Huh! Oh God, I'm scrambling now to get a word that rhymes, so how can I wrap this up? I'll take this mail and go. Neb has written in, and they ask, do you think it's time to evolve trophies? I mean, an example I needed 100 kills with fire grenades to get a trophy, yet no counter like Xbox has to know how I'm doing. Only some support this. Maybe it's time to give us the platinum picture as an optional avatar. And I think it should tell everyone on your friends list when you get a platinum as well. I mean, everyone. So when you sign in, a pop-up letting you know, and a notification on the phone is an extra flex that could be an option to have. Many trophies these days I don't bother with, yet could be 2 or 3 kills away from actually achieving them. It's just lazy programming, I think. So there you go, boys. Is it time for trophies to evolve, to become the Ivysaur from their Bulbasaur-like state, to use a Pokemon reference for you nerds out there? Phil, I'm going to come across to you first, because you are the one who is least into the trophy meta, as me and Spence are.
Do I think it's time for it to evolve? I don't know, really. Because I don't hold a lot of stock in trophies. And as listeners to the show know, I only ever really go to the extent of getting a platinum trophy when I absolutely love the game. So something like Death Stranding, those would be an auto plat for me. I would always try and get the platinum for those types of games because I absolutely love them and I don't mind spending that extra time within the game. But then there's many games that go against that rule, unfortunately, that I absolutely love, much like the games that can't be mentioned. I haven't got a single platinum for any of those games, I don't believe. Maybe 5, I think, but then we don't have the multiplayer ones. So it looks like a platinum, but I've only got 80% or something ridiculous. Because platinums and trophies, they're not created equally. So we regularly have you guys on the show talking up some 15-minute platinum trophy. And then on the flip side of that, you have me coming in and spending 100 hours in a game to achieve that platinum trophy. And if I look at a platinum trophy list and you say you've got 104 and I've got 6, there's no real comparison here, is there? That number looks a lot larger, but ultimately you still have spent a hell of a lot more time ultimately trying to get those platinums, but a lot of them could be wanky platinum trophies that don't really matter so much. So I do like that maybe they do change the way trophies work to try and equal that out. But how would you ever balance something like that? Because every game isn't created equally. And to my knowledge, the way platinums are put together and developed and sort of iterated over the time that a game is alive, it's down to the developer. I don't think Sony has a lot of say in what people class as a platinum or what they need to achieve to get a trophy. It could be as simple as dying, I think, in some games, as Spence has mentioned multiple times. In a lot of the Dark Souls games, I think you just die and you get a platinum trophy, right? It's the easiest way to get not platinum, you get like a trophy, right? Towards your platinum trophy, right? And then some games could be that you have to do like so many 100 hours within a game or so many 10,000 kills in something like a Resistance back in the day, okay? And that could take you a long time. I think what really irks me is just the trophies are just never equal, and it's just kind of a way I see of tying us into PlayStation, okay? And especially because we are going through this period now where we should be questioning things a little bit more. Why are we on PlayStation? What does it give us? And lots of people see trophies as a benefit, and it's something that a lot of other systems do have, but as Neb sort of talks about, they're not equal across Xbox, across Steam, across other systems. They're all kind of inbuilt systems, I think, to like tie you into each individual platform. I think what would be a better way, I think, and it would never happen, is almost like a universal trophy set across all platforms. So you could start to pit yourself against a wider kind of subset of players. But for me, I've never spent a lot of time trying to achieve these platinums. So if they did change the platinum trophy system and the trophy system itself, I probably wouldn't see much value or hold much value in it, unfortunately, Nab. So for me, it's just something that I do see pop from time to time. And as I said, a few that I have sought after and sort of got, such as Death Stranding. But ultimately, it's just not an area which I hold a lot of value in, unfortunately.
Fair, mate. Fair. I knew it wasn't going to be, your thing that you'd be clamoring for any potential real changes here, because as you said, you just kind of dabble in it, right? It doesn't really hold much material weight for you, and that's fair enough. That's completely fair. But Spence, what about yourself? Is it time for trophies to evolve?
It's hard to say. Very much, to be fair, I was going to bring up what Phil said as well, where it's kind of on the developer, and every developer is different. Like even today, we're getting some games released where there just isn't even a platinum. It's just a trophy list and no big thing at the end, which fucking sucks. But awful, especially when you don't realize and you put that effort in to not get the platinum and you're like, oh, fuck. But I've not had that happen to me, unfortunately. Or fortunately, I think maybe I have. I can't recall. I know there are games I have avoided because they don't have a platinum, but those are only games I would have played for the platinum, not for the game itself. I mean, also for the game, but you know, not chicken on the run or anything. But I don't think they do need to evolve, but not to an insane extent. Like, trophies already have evolved. In this generation, we do get games with those counters. I know Neb is saying this, where only some support this feature, but it's quite a lot of them. And it does suck. It really sucks when a game doesn't support it now that we've had it. And that's what really sucks. The issue is some games' trophy lists have evolved, which now makes the other ones seem worse, but really they're just what it always has been. But it's useful. The only thing I kind of care about on this, Neb, is the counter, which tracks your progress throughout. And like we're playing Tokon at the moment, Tokon has a fantastic trophy list in that respect. Pretty much everything is tracked. Like I've played 127 room matches, I think, or online games is where I'm at out of 500. And I know the exact number. I know how many times I've done the counter assemble or whatever. I know everything. And that's brilliant. I can track everything. And then there's alternative games where you just don't get any of that information, and it does make it harder and you have to track yourself. It would be nice to make it easier, but you know, that's fine. Other than that, I don't really know how they would evolve, really. And the platinum picture as an optional avatar, I don't agree with at all. I think unless it's like you get a special avatar from that game, if it's just a platinum trophy, like when I'm reading that, I picture like just a picture of a platinum trophy as your avatar, and I think that is naff. That would be awful. If you could get, I think, did Spider-Man have a platinum avatar?
Yep.
Yeah, I thought it did, and that's quite cool. That I'd be on board with. And I'm also on board with, this has kind of happened recently, where if you get the platinum in a game, you can get exclusive merchandise for the game. So this is kind of happening, which I'm happy about. I guess you kind of, Neb, just want to speed it up or see more active evolution rather than this little slow introduction they're doing at the moment. But I'm happy for them to take their time as long as they don't fuck it. Because, you know, if they start changing it too drastically too soon, it could go sideways. So I support evolution, but I like the way it's going. And I'm fine with what we have.
Yeah, fair. I'm going to kind of build on that a little bit with my thoughts. So I think really ultimately the big message on this is down to the individual developers, right? To be able to really unlock the potential that trophies can have. And the place that does it well, no surprise, is the first party. So when you're playing through any game that's a first party release, be that like Death Stranding or you're talking Ghost of Yotei or anything like that, what will happen is you'll get, as long as you signed up to have email notifications, you'll get an email that will come through to be like, you've just finished the campaign, and it will have like your trophy kind of in the email. And it'll be like, you just finished the campaign. You've only got X, Y, and Z to do to be able to earn the platinum trophy, right? And it would kind of give you those kind of trackers. It would give you those kind of incentives to kind of go alongside with that. When you finish that game and you get that platinum, you then, as you quite rightly said, Spence, you get then that ability to be able to say, I'm going to order that platinum pin, or I'm going to order that new jacket that I get access to, or whatever it is, right? You get those little things, but you also get that email with like a code being like, here's your exclusive avatar you've just unlocked. And then you can have a picture like we did for Spider-Man. I think we got one for Last of Us. I think we get one for, there's been a few different cases they've done this across the generation with different things. And they're always cool. They're like nice little ways to be able to trigger it. I think those things they're not essential by any way, shape or form, but it does create like an added little bit of like an added layer of like quality when you do receive those things. And it does feel like you're just getting that kind of marketing for stuff that you're interested in, you know? And it just feels nice to be able to have those extra things. I really think that there's value there for the players when they do incorporate these things in. And the basics, like having actual tracking, fucking goes a long way, right? Like, it's the very basics of game design. Like when you want to go for a platinum on like Life is Strange, for example, and you can't skip the dialogue and you've got to just sit through all of it again. It's shit then that just becomes a deterrent and becomes something that's a negative, where otherwise they could overcome that if they thought about it. And sure, it is a very dedicated subset of people who are into trophies, and we group together on like PlayStationTrophies.org and things like that. And people share their lists and people critique their lists. And some people are very, very proud of their list that they've created. And that's their own mini game that they undertake, right? Not everyone has to be involved with that. But there's value for those people, right? And I don't take trophies as seriously as those people. There's people I know that when they start a game, they have to platinum it, right? They can't have it sit there and not be platinum. They do everything they can to make sure that their list is clean and tidy. I'm not quite that anal with it, right? Like I'm quite happy to walk away from a game if it's too much of a burden or not enjoying it enough to be able to achieve the platinum. But tracking and things like that go a long way, and they can alleviate some of the pain points, and it does become things that you end up having, or I end up having issues with, which otherwise I wouldn't if it was done better and thought about it a bit more. Same as when you got bullshit trophies, right? When you get a trophy in there that's just fucking ridiculously hard, or just something that just you've got to really go out of your way to be able to achieve, and it doesn't feel like, oh, that was worth me doing, right? It's just somewhere someone's not really thought about it. Like I think about in Final Fantasy X, I think there's actually a trophy for this. But back in the day, to be able to get like the ultimate weapon, you had to go onto like the desert plains and dodge lightning 100 times or 1,000 times or whatever it was, right? It was bullshit. It was fucking just absolute fodder crap that you had to do to get this weapon. Did I do it today? Yes, I did. Would I ever want to do that again now for the trophy to get like a platinum on Final Fantasy X? Fuck no, right? Like, fuck no. I'll walk away from that. But that's just shit. It's just bullshit. It's just like things that aren't fun to do. A great trophy list sings for itself, right? And that's something that we've said time and time again. When you're doing a game and you get a trophy list that's been really thought through, and it gets you to try things you never would try, or to do things that you'd never see before, and stuff like that. Like, they can be really powerful to find a next level of enjoyment with it, but it is on to the developers to do that and to really think about it and create that experience for their players. And unfortunately, it's really only the first party at the moment that are really on this train and providing those extra layers of quality for the players with like the extra emails or the merch that you can get and things like that. I'd hope that more people would get on it. I don't think it's time for trophies to overly evolve, more so than developers to get on the right level of how much extra value they can add for the players who do enjoy this system, because it's a smaller subset, sure, but it's not minuscule. You know, there's whole websites that are dedicated to communities for this, and there's, you know, people cater to a lot smaller communities with a lot more. So why not do it and take the extra step just to add that extra layer of quality and that's my kind of thoughts. But I don't know if anyone's got anything else they want to add on to that.
I think the biggest improvement that I've seen with trophies and allowing people to achieve those platinums is kind of eliminating the online aspects to video games. So back in the PS3 days, when they were still sort of bringing out trophy lists and started to play with trophy lists, I know a lot of platinum trophies, or at least some of the additional trophies that were added to the lists, were all online based, and some of those servers have gone offline since. And now more modern games, they don't tend to include so many of those. They still are possible, okay? I think when you go back to PS3 and you look and you're like, actually, I can't complete this. This is impossible, right? I could only ever get 97%. And that must be crushing for those people that you've talked about, which they need to complete everything because it's a tidy platinum list. Of course, you can hide things within that list. I'm sure people do as well. But that must be ultimately crushing if you are a trophy collector. And going back probably 100 odd episodes, we did have a a trophy collector on, didn't we, Spence? And I know you interviewed her around her sort of trophy, or we all did, around her sort of progress with trophies. And she was just something else, wasn't she? The way she sort of approached those trophies and the way she thought about gaming. It's just a completely different subset, I think, of kind of gamer that would go and find that pleasure within 100%ing everything with every game they play and having those huge numbers to sort of speak about. I think for me, it's more the collection stuff that I get that added benefit, that added value that Davey talked about. But for some people, it is that platinum list and that digital big number that they like to show off. So fair play. Horses for courses at the end of the day, PlayStation allows this for a lot of different people and has a lot of different people playing on its systems. So this is just an area which I do agree with Neb. There is going to be more to it. And when you've been talking about the added benefits of all the marketing that comes afterwards, the personalization that comes along with it, and the added, t-shirts and merch available, I think that's all positive. And I really like where they are pushing trophies and platinums and everything these days. Is it for me? It's not really. Now and again, I will continue to get them, but I don't think I'm ever going to suddenly turn into a completionist with any of these. But I did want to ask you guys, have you ever bought any of this merch that's connected to platinums just yet? Have you ever been tempted? Have you ever had the opportunity?
I've been tempted. I've been tempted quite a bit, actually. I was tempted by the Ghost of Yotei one for the platinum. There was the pin was actually quite sexy. Like I saw somebody actually do an unveiling. Like, I don't give a fuck about pins, but I saw somebody do like an unveiling of what it actually looked like, and the case that it was fucking nice. Like the actual case itself, I was like, fuck, that was cool. But I'd missed the window for the Ghost of Tsushima one. So I was like, well, if I was going to get one, I'd want both, right? And I'd earn
Can you just get on eBay?
Probably for some exorbitant price, right? And it wouldn't be...
You've got the platinum.
I have got the platinum.
People wouldn't sell it, right?
Yeah, I've got the platinums for them both, so I could get it and not feel, bad about it. But that looked cool. And there was also a really cool jacket they did, but it was just a bit rich for my blood at the time. It was like 100 and something odd quid, but it was like...
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it was nice. Wow. It was like really, really nice. And I just thought, I think, I'm moving house and shit. So I was like, I don't really need this jacket right now. So...
It does sit in line though, doesn't it? Because they would be your more obsessive PlayStation players that would... achieve the platinum. So having a high price for something like that is probably quite a wise move for Sony, because you've got to give them, the rope to hang themselves ultimately, 100%, right? 100%. They've gone through all this pain to be able to get the platinum. And then if they really want to show off, they've got a £100 jacket. Well, so it makes sense from a marketing point of view and a business point of view, doesn't it? But I think there's lots of different value levels, isn't there, within the merchandise you can get? Because you spoke about a pin all the way up to a jacket. So there's something for everyone there.
100%. And it's one of those things that in the past they've done cool stuff with trophies. I remember on PS3 they had like it might have been PS4 actually, can't remember when it was. They had like a thing where it was like over a summer, and they had there was like a website that was linked up to your PSN, and depending on the trophies that you'd achieved over that period of time, you'd get points, which then you could redeem for different things. Like it would be PSN credit, or it would be like random avatars or wallpapers.
Stars, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't stars. It wasn't stars, because stars is obviously the thing that's dead now. But it was it was something cool. It was like a separate thing. I can't remember what it was now. But it was like this website that you could go on, and then you could like redeem it for like either like avatars and different cool things. But it was like a reason to get into a race. And so people were then like going on and seeing like, what's the cheapest bullshit platinum I can get so I can get some extra points, right? And like there was these extra things there that obviously people were gaming it. But it was...
Chicken on the Run jacket, 150 quid. Pay up.
There wasn't one of those.
It, mate.
But yeah, there was all cool things.
Get us all of us for Christmas.
I think it's just there's cool stuff they could do. I think one thing that Neb does bring up that I think is really cool and should happen is that it should be a case that when you get platinum, I think it should alert people on your friends list, right? Like it should say this person's just achieved this, because it is something. It wouldn't ultimately matter, be on the home screen or something like that. But
sure,
it should be something.
It'll be optional as well.
Yeah,
you
I'd
probably just turn those alerts off. But someone who cares about them should know. Imagine you and Spencer are in a race, aren't you, to complete Guitar Man, and then you suddenly see that Spencer has got it. You don't have to be checking his list religiously like you did every 5 minutes. It would actually come up up on your PlayStation and tell you.
Exactly, just like on Astrobot when you beat a speed run, it says like Spencer has just overtaken your speed run. It's time for you to get it back. It could be like
that it does that.
Yeah, you could have those kind of things built in, but for trophies as well. So
Does it not do that on the welcome page?
Doesn't for me. I never see anyone's updates on that.
I'm sure I've seen like Joseph Thomas has earned a platinum.
I don't see it, but maybe I'm not looking for it. Right? I don't know, but it should be fucking there. I reckon. Updates from your
Should
mates.
take up the whole screen.
Yeah, it just should be something, right? Like even just like a push notification or something, or somebody, instead of having to do what we do at the moment when one of us earns a platinum, taking a screenshot and then posting that into the friend chat to be like, oh, we just done this or whatever. It should just be one of those things that just you can just share, right? Like it should just be easier than it is.
Straight to Facebook.
But yeah, well,
Yeah, of
they
course,
used to
of
go
course.
immediate. Do you remember that back
I
in the day?
know they did
Yeah,
on PS3.
yeah.
That's why I brought it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool as hell. That was.
You could do it on every trophy.
Yeah, you could for bronzes and shit too.
Just spam,
Yeah. I
spam
never
in
did
someone's Facebook
I
feed
did-
with just
I
trophies.
think I kept them on
man.
for golds and plays. I think I kept them on.
I didn't.
I did. I did.
Jesus. To be fair, I like the notification idea, but again, as long as it's optional. Because as much as I would love to see when you get a platinum, for us, it would ruin when you tell me about it on the show. Like, imagine, obviously, when I told you I got the Guitar Man platinum, then you were like, what? No way. If you knew about it, it'd be a fake reaction, which would be a damn shame. And we don't fake anything on this show, listeners. We've never fake nothing.
Never fake.
No, we got all those platinum trophies.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, any final thoughts from yourself, Spence, before we bring us to a close?
So I think I've said my piece, mate. I agree with you. The only thing that I didn't really touch on, I do agree with you when it is a bollocks trophy on a game for no reason. Especially, to be fair, there are games that it's fine for, like Dark Souls. There was a collect all weapons, collect all spells, collect all miracles, and for a game like Dark Souls, that's fine. I fully accept that. When it's a bollocks game and they just put this stupid, egregious, hard trophy in for no reason, then that fucks me off. But that's up to the dev.
Yeah, it's fine for Dark Souls because that's the way that you unlock those weapons and stuff like that makes you see more of the game, right? So it like kind of makes sense. There's like quest lines you have to do and shit like that I never would have done if I want to go for the platy on it. But yeah, you're right. It's ultimately it's just the devs themselves caring and taking that extra step to make it more enjoying for the players, be that through marketing or merch or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
But Neb,
Yeah.
I hope you've answered your question. Audience, if you want to take part in the show, there's a couple of ways to do so. You can write into the email pswetrust@gmail.com, but the main way to actually get us speaking to you and actually acknowledging you for who you are, right? As
Just
a
get on
person,
Tokon.
get on fucking
Get
Discord.
on Tokon, baby.
Join the
Oh.
new Tokon servers that's going to be on there. We're going to have some Tokon shit in there. I'm going to get Phil to do this in his spare time since I'm editing this episode.
It's not going to happen.
I don't have Discord rights.
No, I'm sure I will do.
I plus don't even know how to do it. I don't know how to fucking work Discord, but I know how to get into fucking game chat, bro. So I'll get into there and we'll fucking settle it on Tokon like true boys. If you've enjoyed the show, then there's a couple of ways to support us. The first is to go onto your podcast service of choice and to rate the show. If you're on Spotify, there's a little star icon right next to our banner. Click on that. 5 stars, please. Really, really does help the show. Leave a comment, like YouTube if you're on there. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. All does help us. Really, really appreciate each and every single one of you. But that brings episode 142 to a resounding close. I've been Davey.
I've been Phil.
And I've been Spencer.
Take care, guys.
Peace.
In PS We Trust is hosted by Davey, Phil, and Spencer. You can write into the show via our email, pswetrust@gmail.com. Our Twitter is @InPSWeTrust. To find each of us online, follow our Twitters, @SSJDavey, @PhilipHoy, @SpenPie_. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other. See ya.